Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. How is everyone doing on this beautiful night after the last day of August? This is the night, which is 9 p.m., which is right after the last day of August, which yesterday was the day, which was Sunday, August 31st, 2025. We're in the night now after that day. And this is Fight Fire with Truth. This is Fight Fire with Truth here, here today. And don't forget, we on every night after Sunday, which they call it Sunday night, but the night after Sunday. Um, which would say they would say Sunday night, but it's actually the night after Sunday. Um, this is the like I said, the last day. Last day was yesterday of August. Tomorrow is September 1st. That's tomorrow, and also tomorrow night. I can say the night on tomorrow or tomorrow night, which is it'll be the first. We'll be here with Mikael's Knowledge of Truth. But other than that, we're here right now. This is open conversation, which is Fight Fire with Truth, which is open conversation. So if anybody come in, they have anything they want to say, talk about, or share, we can sit down, have conversation about whatever it is that we need to talk about, or could talk about, or just put out in the air. But other than that, we're gonna go with the prayer right now. After the prayer, whatever that comes for us to speak on tonight, we can talk on. So right now we'll go with our prayer and then go from there. Blessed be thou, Father of the universe, that bring forth all living creatures forth from the earth. Blessed be thou, Father of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Blessed be the Father of Israel. Blessed be the Father of 12 tribes of Israel. Thank you, Father, for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep giving us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, life, health, and strength, food, shelter, and clothing. Let us be happy. Let us be happy, healthy, wealthy, wise, and prosperous in all that we do. We ask you to keep leading and guiding us, that we can help leading, so we can help leading and guiding others in your knowledge, your word, your ruach, and your way. We thank you for all you've done, been doing, and plan to do. We ask you to keep us in your way and in your graces. We ask you to keep your arm of protection around us at all times. Help us in every way. Allow us to see and understand your word, know your word, and understand your word and retain your word and your knowledge and your law, that we may help not only retain it for us, for our families and our friends, and help others learn and know your information and your word and will as well. We ask you to forgive us of any sins that we have done against you, your word, your of the law, and we ask you to forgive us, our ancestors, and our forefathers for what we have done against you, your word, and your law, and your spirit. We ask you to help us in every way, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, or spiritual. In all these things we pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise your Almighty. Praise your Almighty. All right. So we're here tonight, another night, which is Fight Fire with Truth. And as of yesterday on the Sabbath, we were sharing information on, excuse me, First Samuel chapter 19 and First Samuel chapter 20. We were speaking on um, Saul tries to kill David. Saul tried to kill David. That was our conversation yesterday, you know. And in that conversation, we had a few other things going on, and there was a statement made um, about our purpose. So that remember that coming up, and all of us have a purpose here. So there's nobody here to have a conversation with at the moment. So we always talk about our purpose in life. What's your purpose? What is your purpose? You know, a lot of people don't even know their purpose in life. A lot of people are just living. They're just here. Some is just living, and some just getting by. But some haven't figured out why. Excuse me. Many haven't figured out why they're here, why they are here. Why are you here? Why are you here in this plane? Why are we here? What is our purpose here in the earth? What is your purpose? Do you ask yourself that question? Have you ever thought about asking yourself that question? What is our purpose? We all have a purpose, just like a body. We all have different organs, different ligaments, fingers. And like I said, if y'all don't know what happened with me, I cut my finger, I think a week and a half ago, 2 Mondays ago. Not this month, not money just passed, but the money before. I was out cutting oh boy. I was doing I was shredding the lawn with the shredders, and I'm picking up shrubs, and then the shredder come on, or shall I say the shredder came on for a quick minute, but I pushed it by mistake, and then it cut my cord. So I was trying to cut the cord and had a razor blade, and as I was cutting and rushing it, and I had gloves on, I didn't have gloves on, shall I say, I should have my gloves on, and I cut across it, and it split across my my uh my pinky finger right across the knuckle. And I tried to hold it up, that mother went down like that. I said, oh, I gotta go to the hospital. So ended up going to the hospital getting it stitched up. After getting it stitched up, I had to find a doctor that would put my tendon together. I didn't cut it to the bone, but I did cut the tendon. So that's the reason why I had to have surgery. My hand is it's not broken, but my tendon did get cut. So I had to have surgery. And that's the reason why I have this wrapped as is wrapped at this time. So, but other than that, just to let you know why I have the situation on. But other than that, we all have a purpose here on this earth. We have a purpose, and a lot of people don't know their purpose. A lot of people, like I said, they're just living. They're just living. A lot of people are just doing what they can. A lot is just getting in and getting by, right? But do you ever ask yourself what's your purpose? Why are you here? Do you ever have a thought? Why am I here? What am I here for? What am I doing? Do you ever ask yourself that question? I used to when I was younger, and not knowing or understanding, you know, I I just been on a search. But do you notice that at a certain age, like in our teenage years or a little older, not adolescent, excuse me, young adult, teenage or young adult years, we start to think, about the creator. Our minds move towards the creator, about towards God. That's a lot of people say. I like saying creator. A lot of people start thinking about the creator. You know, they go on a search and start to seek to find the creator, you know? Mm. Everybody, no, not everybody, because some people minds they just live it. Some people just my life is my life. But we all made it here. It's a purpose behind the reason we made it here. It's a purpose behind it. And what trips me out, excuse me, some people here, they just here, they don't value life. They don't think about life. People are here murdering and killing, and a lot of people don't even think about the creator. A lot of people have been taught, and they have allowed their minds to be taught against the creator. I'm saying creator, the one that the consciousness of all things, the consciousness of the universe. And like I was sharing yesterday, I cannot get in phantom and understand why people cannot understand that life, this breath of life, is life. What's wrong with this situation? The breath of life is life. Nature is life. And a lot of people don't even pay it any attention. A lot of people, especially the city, people in the city, They so busy moving, they just know they're just going to the next thing. They all they doing is thinking about the next thing, the next best thing, the next great thing. Money, 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 and whatever they can do, the best car, the best this, the best that, clothing, it's materialism. They're materialistic. And this system got everybody in the chokehold. Might as well look at it. The system has everybody mindset on materialism. There you go. Spiritual is not material. See, spiritual is when you think of things of the spiritual law and of the universal laws. Excuse me, karma, dharma, which is universal. Treat your neighbor as you want to be treated. That's spiritual. These things we're supposed to be observing within ourselves and amongst other people. Actually, we're supposed to observe ourselves through the eyes of others. Excuse me. We're supposed to observe ourselves through the eyes of others. When someone share with you what they see or think or have you, and like it's an old saying, or there is a saying, everybody can't be telling the same lie. A lot of times, a lot of us don't listen to what's being said, and we go on our own minds and not realizing that we're hurting ourselves by not listening to other people. Especially if two people saying the different, something the same, saying the same thing if they don't even know each other. That's something to look at. This is the universe talking to you through them. See, a lot of people don't even understand what the creator, God, or however you want to call it, the Almighty is. They don't even understand him. The Almighty is consciousness, uh, imagination. That's the creator. Your imagination is the image that he made you in his image of. You know what I'm saying? Your imagination is your image of Yah, the creator. The creator created all things, so we are creators, you know. And by being creators, that's why the earth is the way it is now. Excuse me. So, other than that, we here doing what we do, building, growing, observing, and making things happen. And one thing a lot of us don't realize is that the prophecies is happening right now, and the world is in disarray because of prophecy that people don't know, nor do they realize. They don't know it. They don't even understand it because they don't take the time to understand what's going on around them. Who's in charge? Why are they in charge? The reason why they're in charge. What they have done to be in charge. This is where we at now. And it takes the same thing that they put you in servitude. It's going to take that same thing to take you out of servitude. It's going to take the same thing to take you out. But the people don't know it. Some people are limited in their information. They're limited. They only want to go only so far because they think this is it and this is the all. But it's a whole lot more that it says my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. It's a whole lot more knowledge that people need to know that they can't even see, nor understand, nor do they realize. And I'm just thankful that the Father has allowed me to see, understand, and to know what I know today. And I know I don't know it all, but I know a great deal compared to what I used to do 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. I know a great deal. You know what I'm saying? It's 2015. 2016, 2026 will be 10 years. So 10 years ago today, I know more. I knew more than I did even in 10 years. Now, within the last 5 years, I've learned a great deal more. Within this last year, I've learned a great deal more. That's what I've learned. But it all depends on what you apply yourself to. The Creator will lead and guide you if you're open minded to hear, seek, and learn and understand. You know? So I'm just here at the moment. And my main thing, like I said, I shared that yesterday, and this just hit my mind since no one's here. What's your purpose? What is your purpose? I know I made a purpose by telling the Creator when I was in Europe. If you brought me to the truth, I'll put the truth in songs and writing and give it to the world. It's up to the world to accept it or reject it. I want to share something with you and just hit me. And what we're doing in the remnant as we grow. Share something with you. Jeremiah 31. I'm going to share something with y'all here. And I'm gonna tell you, I'm not here to convince you to do anything. I'm here to open your mind, and I share information. I'm not here to tell you right or wrong, but I tell you what I stand on. What I come to know, and on this platform, I give the truth of what I come to know on this platform. But if people want to believe what they want to believe, I allow them to believe. I have to allow because that's what they do. But I'll let them believe what they want to believe because it's their choice to believe what you want to believe and to know what you want to know. So, but what I want to do is I'm gonna go and I'm gonna share something here with you in a few seconds. Right here, Jeremiah 31, verse 31. I ask you, what's your purpose? What's your purpose? Jeremiah 31, verse 31 states this. It talks about the new covenant. That's my heading right here. The new covenant, not the testimony. There was two testimonies and there was two covenants. Everybody think the testimony is the covenant, and they're completely off. See, it's on my big table over there. I think I'm still pretty good. Let me just wipe them off. Can't see know where my spray is at. Wipe these real quick. Uh, G1 is coming in. All right. Good to see you, G1. Good to see you, bro. Glad you came on through. I was just bringing up the conversation. I was talking about our conversation as of yesterday. I'm glad you came on in. I was just talking about what's our purpose. I was saying, I was asking, I was like, what's our purpose? What's going, everybody that made it to this plane, everybody that came through the matrix, or shall I say, everybody that was born into this earth, this plane, has a purpose. But a lot of people don't know their purpose. So I was getting ready to go into it as I was about to share with everybody. Jeremiah, the new covenant, and I was just saying just before you came in, is two covenants and it's two testimonies. The two testimonies where people are living today. The testimony of the Creator's law, which is how we're supposed to be living, and the testimony of the curse, which is what was given in the New Testament. The New Testament is the new testimony. That's the new testimony of the curse that the Creator said that was going to end up happening that people don't realize. But where I'm at right now, I'm in the new covenant. See, it was two covenants. It was a blood covenant in Exodus chapter 24, verse 8 through 24, verse 1 through 8. Your key verses is 3, 7, and 8. I'm saying 6, 7, and 8, but 3, I'll say 6, 7, and 8, but 7 and 8 is your key besides 3 in Exodus chapter 24. But that was the blood covenant. That was the first covenant. That's the covenant that they broke. And we're about to read that now. But this is the new covenant. And this is the reason why I'm asking about what's your purpose? What is our purpose here on this earth? Why are we here? Why are we existing on this plane in this time? So I just wanted to make a point at this point right here, the new covenant, which is where we actually are today. And we're growing daily at this time. It says, Jeremiah 31, verse 31 states, the new covenant. That's the heading. And it says, behold, the days come, saith Yah. This is the Creator talking. Behold, the days come, saith Yah, that I will make a new covenant. A new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. If you notice, it says Israel, but Judah is the head tribe. 32. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant, they break. Although I was a husband unto them, saith Yah. 33 is your key. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith Yah, I will put my law in their inward parts. His law is going to be within you. When he put his law within us, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts. The Creator said he's going to put the law within us. A lot of people don't know their purpose, but this is one purpose that we all are supposed to have and we're all supposed to be doing. If we're going to be a part of the Creator's kingdom. Because there's a separation happening in this day right now. But the key is if we're going to be a part of the Creator's kingdom. So, and write it in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. So those who the Creator has written, he's written his anointing, those who he has anointed, those who he has done a certain situation with spiritually and written it in their hearts, which is in their minds and in their hearts, they're going to turn to him. They're going to start to keep his law. And this is the key right here to our purpose. It says, and they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother. Me, I share with what I know. And when I'm sharing what I know because there's many that don't know what I've come to know. But I'm also gaining on knowledge with that I don't know. But like I said, this is my 30th year since my spiritual awakening. And in my 30 years, I've gained to know a great deal of information and in many different areas. But I may not seem like or act like, but it's a lot that I know. And I don't try to come off like I know everything. I don't try to come off like that. People may feel that way, but I don't try to be like that. I just try to let it be known what I've come to know, and I share information. That's why I like talking about, I'm teaching you, I'm do all that. Because we all teach each other. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. Saying, no, Lord, no, come here, this is how you do. No. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them. And the way to know him is when he write his law in your inward parts, that's how you're going to know him. When he write his law, and the only way to write his law in your inward parts is if we pick up the book and start to read what he's saying, according to what he said in the first 5 books and what he said according to his prophets. See, the prophets was given information in order for us to know, to find out the testimony of the curse and the blessing. That's the difference from the covenant. The covenant is what he said he's going to do to us. The testimony is what we're going to follow. We're going to follow his laws or we're going to follow the curse. And you may be following the curse and not realizing it. For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yah. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. Why he ain't going to remember our sin? Because we can't sin, because he's going to write the law. Now, the key, I keep telling people, is the law. We got a lot of the quote-unquote Christian world, which your Savior in the New Testament was never a Christian. You'll never find out that he said that he was a Christian. That was the name they tagged on him after Antioch. And they just said, well, this is what it means, so that's what he was. No, he wasn't a Christian. And I will remember their sin no more. And this is his confirmation, 35 through 37. Thus saith Yah, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon and the stars for a light by night. See that? Which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. Yah of hosts is his name. 36. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith Yah, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation from before, being a nation before me forever. See, that's his word. The Creator said that. Well, that's the word of man. The Creator speak through man, man speak to the people, and have written it down for people to come to know. Verse 37. Thus saith Yah, still the Creator talking, when he speak in my name, when a prophet speak in my name, thus saith Yah, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath. And no one can do that. We say, we talk, but no one can actually search out the earth beneath or the heavens above. I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith Yah. He said he'll cast them off. But his word that he'll never do that. So this goes to show that he can't lie. And he's saying this to show you that he can't lie. So what is our purpose? Our purpose is to keep the law, seek the Creator, and build on the law. If we searching and seeking and getting in this word ourselves, in due time, whatever we help each other with, whatever someone is telling, like people tell me stuff all the time. I learned a lot from people in my time past to come to know what I know today. And I put pieces of the puzzle together to understand certain things compared to just trying to find things on my own. So it's a lot that I've come to know, a lot. And like I said, it's more than just one genre because it's a portion in here when it talks about the iron rod. And the iron rod is how we're going to take control of ourselves. This is how we come out of poverty. This is how we come out of the slave mentality and slavery. This is the iron rod is going to take us from what put us in slavery. It's going to be the same iron rod is going to take us out with paperwork. That paperwork is what's going to do it. A lot of people think just following the law is just it. It's a lot more that goes with it. See, the people don't know, nor do they understand that Esau's blessing, he's holding his blessing to the utmost right now. Whether y'all want to believe Esau still exists, he don't exist, or he's the white man, black, whoever y'all think he's the Arab, don't make a difference. I don't care. I got people saying Esau is this and that, and they too busy trying to looking at skin color or certain type of people. His seed is in every nation. No different than our seed is in every nation. His seed is in every nation. So, how can you pick one specific being if your seed is in every nation? And it was something I shared earlier today. Somebody quoted on one of my pages, on one of my posts, and I actually made a repost on it. Not a repost. I made a comment on it. Someone's talked about being in the land of the captivity, right? Saying the children of Israel said, how can you do this and you still in the land of your captivity? And I said, to be, how did I say? To realize or in realization, or however I said it, I said the world has been in captivity since the Greek and Roman era. The whole world. Everybody think, well, we got to go back to our land. We can't do nothing in the unclean land. The whole world is in captivity. See how these two just came together. Same like what I tell you about the iron rod. This right here. The whole world is in captivity under the iron rod. And guess what that iron rod is? Your birth certificate, social security card, and the ID that you carry pertaining to the trust that was made for you at birth. The whole world, that's just coming out. See how the Spirit just bring it? The whole world is under captivity. It's in captivity, not just under, in captivity. And until you get the knowledge to come off from under the captivity with the Chicken George had to have a piece of paper to get out off of under captivity, didn't he? Well, you got it's a piece of paper. Okay, but, oh, you got me, huh? My baby on it today. That's it, ain't it, baby? The iron rod. This this is what put us in. It's gonna be the same thing that take us out. So this is where we are today. I know my purpose. That's why I asked, what's your purpose? I know my purpose. I know why I'm here. I know what I've come to learn. I know what I am here to share as I grow. Because like I said, I don't know it all. But what I do know, you getting steps. We going up Jacob's ladder. We getting out of here. And what do I mean by that? Zephaniah chapter 2. Let's go ahead and hit it real quick. Here we go, right here. Dang, right on it. Open right to it. See how the Father, that's how I know the Father with me. Zephaniah chapter 2, I'm going to do the first 3 verses. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. That's us. We are those people who are not desired. No, they don't. We are those people who are not desired. We are the nation, quote unquote, blacks. They call them African American, which is a byword in the proverb. Yeah, 2 continents. Thank you, baby. Gather yourselves together. Yea, gather together, O nation, not desired. Verse 2. This is Zephaniah 2. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of Yah come upon you, before the day of Yah's anger come upon you. The Creator's anger is already upon us because we don't keep His law. That's the bottom line right there. We don't keep the law. By not keeping the law, He's angry. He had the law here from the beginning. And then He has mercy on the people because He know that the people didn't know because the ancestors didn't teach what they supposed to taught them to know what they need to know to be where we are today. And it's a lot of stuff that happened in between the time of the transatlantic slave trade. A lot of things happened in between that time. It was curses put on the people that came over here, and it was a lot of things happening in between that time from people being here, transferred across. We are already across the world. Come in here if you're going to talk, baby. You got to make sure they hear you.
They terrorized the people so that they wouldn't teach their children because of the beatings and the lynchings and things like that. Some of them were just afraid to teach because they didn't want their children killed or going through those things that the others was going through.
And that's the reason why most of the women got what would you call it? Not transferred. They were more apt to be like, oh,
Yeah.
do what they say.
Yeah.
Do that, you know. And what's that? The Willie Lynch letter.
Yeah.
I know you want to say something, G1, on this situation. I hit verse 3 real quick. Seek ye Yah.
You saying something on that? Well, you know, that's funny. I was listening to somebody talk about that in relationship to I was watching some Dr. York, but he was talking about how, you know, he was back in the day, he would go to church and ask questions about certain things, and in Bible Sunday school and all of that. And if it was something that kind of like made them have to answer a question, or it was kind of contradicting what they was talking about, he would get told to his grandmother, and then his grandmother would whoop him and say, don't be asking these kind of things, and what stuff like that. Like how you said, kind of like they had kept indoctrinating you, that era, from even asking certain questions.
That's right.
Or it was kind of like they would make it seem like it's blasphemy for you playing, like stop playing with God and all of that if you raise these certain issues or contradictions or things that don't seem to add up. You know what I mean? They use the woman as the mother, the big mama, and all of them to kind of keep it in check.
That's right.
But yeah, right.
That's right, bro. That's 100% right. They did. That's what they did with our women. That's the reason why they got the women in charge today. That's why they got the feminist movement so high today.
But that's one reason they also got the black men out of the house, or men, period. Nowadays, they don't want to see the nuclear family, the mom, the woman, and child. They want to see all of this twisted stuff going on. And even what was his name? The Behold the Pale Horse.
There you go.
William Cooper. He talked about how they would dismantle the family unit. And so, yeah, they don't even want a man in the household nowadays and stuff like that. But yeah, especially for back in the day, you have to get in order to get welfare, you couldn't have a man around and all of that stuff. So yeah,
right.
Those were all things pushed by the feminist groups in order to, like you said, to dismantle family and further, because chaos, they run order out of chaos. You know what I mean?
That's right.
As long as there's a man to lead, because man needs to lead. It means to, man is mine, and that's what leads. You know what I mean? A man is supposed to take charge of the household and
there
the family.
You go.
It's no disrespect to women or anything like that, but that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? And so feminist movement, like you said, with the whole equality thing, and they want to be equal, it's gone out of hand. Now, I understand, certain women were being held, and down and abused in certain ways. And so I agree with them having certain rights.
Yeah.
Not certain rights. I agree with them having the rights, that they were fighting for, but then they got twisted. Like all movements, they get usurped and then turned around into something else. Because everything has a dual purpose. You talk about purposes. Everything has a dual-edged sword, like they say, a dual-edged sword, So, like they say, same thing that make you laugh can make you cry. So they can turn these things around and flip them and reverse it. That's what the whole tricknology is. They'll take something that do seem like it has knowledge or a purpose, and then they'll reverse it and use it in a backwards way. But yeah, that's what I'll say on that.
You're on point, bro. You 100% right. And that's right. Because that's exactly what it is. They take things and they twist it. And by them twisting it, see, the system will go one way. You be looking at it going this way, then they did like Queen Mother always say, a bait and twist, a bait and switch. So they'll do one thing and then they'll switch it for it to be something else other than what it really was supposed to be. That's the reason why Claudine. Claudine was one of the first movies with James Earl Jones, and I forgot the sister name, but he was helping them. She had a family. He was helping her. Next thing you know, this woman started coming around and make sure he wasn't in the house. He hiding in the closet, and he trying to help them. But then they kicked the fathers or the men out the house. Then come out. That to me, that was my basic. That was my base before I go into Good Times. When you see Good Times was the first family movie with James Evans and Florida and their family, Michael Thelma, and all them together. And then next thing you know, they got the father out the house. Well, I ain't gonna say they do it. I ain't gonna say they did. It was the way that it happened in real life. But according to the story, if you look at Good Times, James was going out the house. Now you had a mother and the children. And they in the what? The ghetto, right? Now you had the mother and children. Now all of a sudden, now the mother is gone. Now you just got the children at the house. Then now all the children grow up. They grow up on their own and stuff like that. And that's how society end up playing its way out. Society played its way out. Then it got to the point where the Caucasian man couldn't get a job. I remember Tootsie. I see it where in Tootsie, men couldn't get a job. So this guy, and I don't think it was like Miss Doubtfire. A brother told me that was more like Miss Doubtfire or whatever, like that movie. But my remembrance was that men couldn't get a job. So now he had to dress as a woman to go get a job. That was my point of view on it, on Tootsie. So, but the point I'm getting at on this world has been turned upside down. The world has taken men out the house, put women in charge, no different in the garden. When Satan did what? He went to the woman. He went to the woman. The woman tricked the man. No different than today. The man today is the same as he was in the beginning. A man will I don't say kill or nothing like that, but the man will do all he can for his woman. A lot of even the women, and for all y'all women out there, I got to give you props. All you women out there that's standing up, that's telling the truth, compared to all these other women that's growing up in this feminine movement, I give you, I don't want to say praise, but I give you props. Say what, baby? Your flowers. There you go. Thank you, baby. I give y'all ladies the flowers for standing up, telling the truth on the things that's going on. Putting women in their place because they're too busy trying to say they think they're too good for Cheesecake Factory and don't even have the money to do the stuff that they expect for a man to do for them. So, world is changing whether people see it or not. People see it and they don't see it. But I tell you what's happening. Isaiah 4:1 is heading soon, and it's happening faster. I didn't say slowly but surely. It's happening faster than usual. And let's talk about 7 women taking hold of 1 man. That means that women are going to be taking hold of men. Why? Because prophecy and because time is coming. The time is up. A lot of these women going to start to see that all the stuff that I'm going to get to that in a minute, matter of fact. But let me go to verse 3. It says, seek ye Yah, which is his law. Seek ye the Lord, which is seek ye Yah, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, which is his law. Seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yah's anger. See, if we start to seek meekness, start to seek his word, seek his law, start understanding, start being meek. Let's get together. Let's start understanding each other. Let's build together. Let's reason together. The more we start to do that, and then the Creator will endow us with the real knowledge that he will have for us to know, then we can start to grow. Not about arguing, bucking, fighting. Well, this is what it is. That no, myself, I leave you where you at. I'm like, well, this is what I've come to know. I'm going to share with you what I've come to know. And as I share with you what I come to know, all I can do is give you what I come to know. But if you share with me what you know, I'm going to take it in. I'm going to observe it according to the word. And as I observe it according to the word, I'm going to say, okay, he may have some that I can, that I can share or did he share with me. But if I say, no, I've been there, done that, I know this, I understand that, I've been there already, I understand that, no, that don't go together. That's for me to know on my point of view. I let it be known, but I'm not going to, I'm not a debater. I'm not going to debate on what I come to know compared to what I don't know. Now I'm like, okay, I consider it. I consider what I don't know to look up and check it out. Once I do that, I say, okay, cool. And I'm the man of my word. I say, well, I was wrong. I'll tell you quick. Well, I was wrong. Like I said about my finger, I should have had my glove on. But I cut my egg. But it is what it is. I'm not too proud to say I'm wrong about something because I know I'm not a know-it-all. I know I don't know everything. I know I don't know everything. So I don't mind being wrong about what I don't know. But what I know, I can stand on. But other than that, right here it says, I'm going to read this one more time. Zephaniah chapter 2. It says, gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired. Before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the shaft, before the fierce anger of Yah come upon you, before the day of Yah's anger come upon you. Seek ye Yah, all ye meek of the earth, which have wrought his judgment. Seek righteousness, seek meekness. It may be ye shall be hid in the day of Yah's anger. And then they talk about Gaza right there. Remember when Trump was coming back in, they was talking about Gaza. I'm just gonna give that's just a clue to me. In verse 4, it says, For Gaza shall be forsaken, and Ashkelon a desolation. Remember how they were saying how, and I'm just gonna say that real quick to show you, or just not you, but I'm just saying just to show everyone, Gaza is what they were speaking of when Trump was coming into office. And it's talking about the desolation, they how it's going to help build that back up over there. Remember? This judgment happened in 2020. This is what this is talking about, from my point of view. And that for Gaza shall be forsaken. They was talking about Gaza in the beginning of this year. Or the earlier part of this year, because it wasn't the beginning this year. The actual year started in April or May. April. The end of March or beginning of April. The end of March or April. That's when the beginning of the year actually started. But we right here. So those first three verses, and I'm telling you, 4 was the key with Gaza and Ashkelon a desolation. Desolation means desolate. That's when it was all messed up over there. A desolation. They shall drive out Ashdod at the noonday, and Ekron shall be rooted up. And I just want to make sure I get there, and I'm going to make sure I get this part. My key point is Gaza and desolation. The main two key words I wanted to use in verse 4. They're my two key words about what's going on today. But now, so I was just talking about, before we get to the reason why about these women coming together now, because there's a lot of them talking about polygamy, polygyny, however you want to call it. Men having more than one woman, and they are actually accepting it. Matter of fact, I shared a few of them today on my on my uh on my okay on my Facebook. I shared it today. But check this out. Now we're gonna go to 24. I'm gonna tell you another point of what's going on today. We're gonna start over here at chapter 3, Isaiah 3. I'm gonna jump around on it because I'm gonna show you some points. I ain't gonna read the whole thing. Because if I do, y'all can see it all in here. I'm gonna start with verse 10. Isaiah 3 and 10 through 12. I'm going to 12 first. Say ye to the righteous, say you to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. See, that's when the Creator gonna. This is where the separation is happening at. He's telling the righteous, say ye to the righteous, that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doing. This is Isaiah chapter 3, verse 10. Isaiah 3 and 11 says, Woe unto the wicked! It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. The wicked. If you wicked and you doing stuff out there, whatever you reap, you're gonna sow. That's what it said. For the reward of his hand shall be given him. What you gonna reap or what you gonna sow is what you're gonna reap. Woe unto the wicked! It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hand shall be given him. 12, and I read here for a reason, and this is what's going on today. As for my people, this is the Creator talking. As for my people, children are their oppressors. Why? Because of their mothers. The children out here doing what they want to do. The system is allowing the children to do what they want to do as well. Oh, you can call on your You can call what they said. Well, I'm gonna call 911 on you. Boy, some of these parents are boy, that's a whole different story with me. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. You see that? And women rule over them. This system has it set like that. This is what I'm talking about. The system is already set up. The system, see, this is what I mean by prophecy. People don't understand what prophecy really is. It says, verse 2, Isaiah 3 and 12 again. I'm just going from the beginning. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. Then he says, O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err. They that lead you, this system that leads you, this system that leads you, O my people, they cause you to err. They cause you to fall out the way. Number one, they got you running after religion. They got you running after the curse. This system is doing that. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err and destroy the way of thy path. What's our path? The law, the commandments. The law itself is the way. But a lot of our people are following the ways of the world. They doing, oh, this is what the world is. They think that whatever the world says, and this is the problem that we have today. But this is a part of the curse. Let me hit down to 14. Yah stand up to plead, to stand up to judge the people. He said, Yah, verse 13, Yah stand up to plead, to stand up to judge the people. And he doing it through his people. He doing it through the people like myself. I'm standing up and I'm sharing information, which is, and Yah stand up to plead, to stand up to judge. The judge is to give you correct judgment according to the law and the stuff of the world. Stand up to judge the people. 14. Yah will enter into judgment with the ancient of his people. See, Yah will enter into judgment with the ancients of his people. His ancient of his people is actually talking about the law. The ancients is the word. And the princes thereof, for ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. The spoil of the poor. And you know that a lot of people go out here. I was looking at just yesterday. Yesterday, I went to go see my daughter and my granddaughters yesterday, right? Went by their house. This elder was trying to go and get like a little key for. Let me show you something. You know how they put the battery in the key? Elder across the street. I went by to see my daughter. They wasn't there. And can you take me over down to her? And I said, yeah, no problem. I went over, picked him up, took him the way he needed to do, did what he needed to do for him. Help the brother, help the elder out, right? Just help the elder out. And in that, reason I said that for a reason. Oh, and the prince for ye have eaten up the vineyard and the spoil of the poor is in your houses. This is the reason why I'm saying this. When me and him was going to AutoZone to get the battery and then going back to the place where they was gonna put the battery in that, the cops had stopped these people on the road, right? And I'm sharing this for this purpose right here. When it says, and ye have eaten up the vineyard, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. This system is taking automobiles. Now, this is something I wanted to share with y'all. I'm telling y'all about this right here. This right here, the iron rod. This is what we need to get free. But there's levels to getting free. You have to learn all over again. So there's level, but the iron rod is this right here. Pen and paper. So, but the key I'm sharing with you is this. These cops, when we rode past, these cops had stopped this guy. Coming back, we see a tow truck coming. They come to get this person's car. Now, what I want to share with y'all is this. For all y'all out there who was against Trump, for whatever, because I don't know, this is the system that they set up. This is their system. A lot of people don't even know the laws. They're against them, but you don't even know the laws. The reason why he's doing what he's doing, because he can't go against the law. Well, he's doing what he want to do. He's doing, but y'all don't even research to find out what he's doing is wrong. It's a video I wish I could play. Man, it's a video to prove. Matter of fact, when I find it, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna put the link in here. I'm gonna find it. This guy is show. He broke down and showed where in 1913 they switched everything. In 1913 they switched everything. So in 100 years they've taken your constitution and everything from you. It's been 100 years. I'm telling you this now. I'm gonna put the link in. I'm gonna put it in. I'm gonna find it. I made sure I saved it. I'm gonna put the link in here. This guy broke it down and he showed, I think it's either Instagram or it's either in Facebook where I got it. But wherever guy, I'm gonna be in all my links. Y'all gonna see it in here. But the point that I'm getting at is this. He broke down and showed where World War One started in 1914, I believe. But in 1913 is when the plot started and they started plotting against the people. In 1913. This whole system has taken, you know what I try to get people to understand is this. I always use these two in general. The first thing is the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says you have the right to bear arms. You have the right, not privilege. Privilege is when you get a license. A license is a privilege. It's a permit. Permit means a privilege in order. You have permission to get a arm. Is what the real word for it is. See, they got commercial lingo and they got lawful lingo, but people are using the commercial lingo. And when you use an arm is lawful. A gun is commercial. So when you say you got a gun, you're using commercial lingo, means you put you in the jurisdiction of the corporation. And this is what I'm doing. This is why I say my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. One purpose is to gain knowledge in the earth. They have did a number on our people for over 100 years. They've taken your right to bear arms. So now if you get caught with an arm and you call it a gun, they can take you and put you in jail. But you have a right to bear it. Do you know people's minds are so twisted? They be like, well, everybody might have a gun then. If everybody have a gun, that's your right. That is your right. Not your privilege. But you know how many people is so, their minds is like, it's like this. Ain't nothing gonna get through. Their minds is not even open to get the information. Minds are locked. They can't see. And we try to give them understanding and overstanding. No, man, it's too much for them. Now, the next thing is you have the right to travel. Drive is another word, which is commercial lingo. But you do have the right to travel. Wagon, you have a right to travel. How it says, horse and carriage, wagon, or automobile. You have the right to travel. People should see, but they give you a privilege to drive. They give you you got to have a privilege which is a permit. I don't think that's the first thing you get. You have to go and get a permit. So you have permission to drive until you get a quote unquote license. If y'all really understood, what's your purpose? Your purpose is to gain knowledge, number one, because people are destroyed for the lack of it. And this is our purpose today. If y'all choose to stay that way, that's on you. I've made a promise, and I'm doing my promise. But if you choose to stay ignorant with the iniquity of the Greek and Roman Empire upon you, excuse me, hey, that's on you. Excuse me, y'all. Well, excuse me. Woo. But it's on you from this point. But as we go down, it talks about the judgment on the daughters of Zion from verse 16. Hey, excuse me. I don't know where that come from. From verse 16, this is going on today. This is talking about prophecy of today. Verse 16, I'm going to finish up verse 14. I finished the end of 14 with, the spoil of the poor is in your houses. Verse 15, what mean ye that ye beat my people to pieces and grind the faces of the poor? Of the poor, saith Yah of hosts. So this is what they're doing. This is what the system is doing. The system is doing all this is sharing now. This is the judgment on the daughters of Zion. The daughters is our women of today. This is the judgment upon them. But check it out. I was going to hit at 24, but I started at 16, so I'll go ahead and read it on down. From 16 to 26, and then I'm going to give you the conclusion before we go to part 2. Verse 16. Moreover, Yah said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty. Y'all know our women are haughty. They think they know it all. They got the system behind them. Because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks. Ain't that what the women be doing? Stretched forth neck and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go. Y'all know how these women are. And this is the scripture talking, it ain't me. And making a tinkling with their feet. 17. Therefore, Yah will smite with a scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion. Now, all these women out here wearing all these fake hair, right? Lately, they've been talking about a lot of diseases and a lot of bugs and stuff in the hair, in this fake hair. And these women can't stop putting them on. A lot of them don't want to go natural. Some of them are going bald, which you're going to hear in here soon as well. Verse 17. Therefore, Yah will smite with the scab the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion, and Yah will discover their secret parts. Right? All the things that they think they're doing, they think they're getting away with. 18. In that day, Yah will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet. The bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet. And their cauls and their round tires like the moon. Big old round earrings. You know the big old round earrings they be wearing? 19. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers. 20. The bonnets, you see the bonnets, when Monique talked about the bonnets at one time? The bonnets and the ornaments of the legs, and the headbands and the tables, and the tablets and the earrings. 21. The rings and nose jewels. They used to have nose jewels, right? The rings and the nose jewels, the changeable suits of apparel, and the mantles, and the wimples, and the crisping pins, the little pins that be put in their head. 23. The glasses and the fine linen, and the hoods and the veils. You know, the hood, women wear all that. 24. Now, and it shall come to pass. Which it shall come to pass. Watch what happens. Verse 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And a lot of them women stink between their legs today. Instead of sweet smell, they think, and then that smell turn into stink. I'm just gonna say that. And instead of sweet smell, there should be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent. A lot of their clothes is rent now. They clothes.
Hey, yo, I want to say too, you know about that, about you said about the stench. You
Talk
notice,
to me.
I don't know if you ever noticed these commercials now. They got this full body deodorant. They got something called full body deodorant now, where instead of just deodorant that go under your arms, they say it's for, you know, your butt crack, your everything, all of that.
Really?
Yeah, because you know I don't know why it's designed like that, but like you know what, I heard somebody theorize on it and say that you know a lot of the girls, you know, this era is not wiping, they not smelling, they
Oh,
you know they coming to school you know smelling funky under they you know because they ain't taught how to really be,
clean
you know what I mean?
themselves.
Yeah, the proper hygiene, but yeah, this is a new thing amongst this like era of women and even men because you know they make it for men too that can you know you can put it on your you know down there and everything and so it's all over body deodorant. You know what I mean?
That
Yeah,
is
and because
sad.
it's getting to the point where yeah, you know people don't know how to do that, but they had to make a whole body. You know, we didn't have this back in the day. We just put a deodorant under our arms and that was it. But now you got you know whole body deodorant,
That's
whether
crazy.
for your you know what I mean, all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because
So you
people are
see the
just walking
prophecy,
around
don't you?
stinking.
Huh?
Well, we could definitely tie it into that for sure. You know what I mean? I never read this in there, so this is you know you showing me something right now.
Yeah, I
But like
tell you,
how you
this
said,
is
when you want to
prophecy.
add it all up, it makes a lot of sense.
This prophecy, bro. That's what I'm saying. And I'm glad you brought that up because I remember seeing like every commercial back in the day, but you brought it out because I ain't seen that in a minute. But they got stuff they got for poop. They got something that they put in the toilet. They got all kinds of stuff for stink nowadays. A lot of stuff they doing nowadays. And like you said, bro, it's sad that they got a full body deodorant for down between the legs, under their arms, and it's sad. Cause a lot of these women, a lot of them, they clean themselves. They get up and they go. They get up
Also,
and go.
also the food they eat and too, it causes you know the foods. A lot of food you eat make you stink. Like if you like, I know vegans. It's like you know, I mean, they pretty much don't have a lot of the odor that meat eaters will have because of the what's in the ingredients and all of this processed food. So pay
Right?
attention. I don't know. No, I noticed that like it's you know what I mean. It's a certain scent that people have that versus somebody who don't maybe vegetarian or vegan. They don't have those scents. Yeah, you know those certain hormones and stuff that you eat in the meat. You
Right?
know, cause the body to have certain odors. You know what I mean?
Right?
Yeah. Even like when the meat get all clogged up in your guts, yo, you can have bad breath. You
That and
know what I'm
that's
saying?
that's a fact.
All of that. So yeah,
You know
it
what?
makes
Since you
sense.
said that, I was just thinking about what's the name of that? Adam Chandler did. He did something too. When this guy had bad breath. I mean, bad breath, like you know. But the point is, you're right. It's a lot of stuff going on today. But prophecy speak for itself. Prophecy speak for itself. And in verse 24 again, we'll go hit 24 again. It says, and it shall come to pass. See, when it said it shall come to pass, he's starting a whole new statement. let it be known something compared to what he just talked about. So when he say it shall come to pass, this is prophecy. It's something to prophesy. He prophesizing. He says, and it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And instead of a girdle, a rent, which is a lot of women they wearing clothes today that's rent or torn. It says, and instead of well set hair, baldness. How many of these women are bald up under their wigs and under they up under their weaves and stuff today? They bald. All this right here is prophecy.
Yeah, I was seeing that. I noticed that, it used to be like original women, black women then, so-called black women, they used to have some of the most beautiful hair coming up, you know what I mean? And now it's
Yep.
like, now all of them is bald or got wigs and just, I won't say all of them, but it's like the majority that I see in the urban areas, they don't, unless they got some dreadlocks that's long and connected, like I don't see just the natural
Exactly.
long hair no more. It's like you said, they going bald. They having to get weaves and all kind of stuff. Like it's just crazy. Even the bodies, they used to have some of the most beautiful bodies, figure wise. You know what I'm saying? Some of the most beautiful figures, and now it's like they different. Now you see, it's like some of the white girls. Now you see them more shapely and more in tone bodies
Yep.
than you see. Now it's like they got it now. It's like it's weird. I don't know, man, what it is, man, but like that's something I noticed, man. White women wasn't shaped like they is now, and the
Exactly.
sisters used to be more shaped out than them, but now they starting to look like I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? With the hair, everything. It's wild to me, man. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's just another observation that it seemed like it's going in tune with what you're saying. But yeah,
Hey, it's prophecy. This all is prophesied of what's coming to be. Because in 4 and 1, is what's coming up in this point in day now. But it states says, and instead of well set hair, baldness, and instead of a stomacher, girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty. A lot of burning instead of beauty. Now I don't know what that could mean. Like they could be burning hair or burning. I don't know. It could mean it many different ways. Them women know because all this is about the women. Starting at verse 16, and moreover, Yah said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes. This verse 16, and wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. Back over here to 20, burn instead of beauty. 25. Thy men shall fall by the sword, and this is what has happened. Thy men shall fall by the sword. So a lot of men gonna be falling out there in the streets. And thy mighty in the war, and thy mighty in the war. 26. And her gate shall be lamented, means she'll be crying and mourn. And she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. She'll be all alone sitting on the ground, meaning that she ain't got nowhere to turn to, like today. Look at this. That just hit me. Like today, these women ain't got nobody to turn to. They think they are that. You can't tell them nothing. They still, like I said, with stretched forth neck, like I said in verse 16. Moreover, Yah said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks and wanton eyes, always wanting something, wanton eyes, walking and mincing as they go, and making a tinkling with their feet. 9:26. And her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Meaning she being with nothing, she gonna sit upon the ground. All that's coming. Now 4 and 1. And in that day, meaning in that time, in the days that's going on, that day is actually in that 1,000 years, in that time is going on. It says that day is not one day. 1,000 years to the Creator is a day. So, and in that time, which is in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. That's coming. You know why that's coming? This right here, the pen and pad is going to change a lot once people start getting the knowledge. Once people start getting the knowledge, the pen and pad going to change a lot of stuff. Excuse me. All of a sudden, oh, we got Sister Julia coming in. Sister Julia, good to see you, sis. What's going on with you? I'm glad you was able to make it. You were able to make it. And right now, we just got through doing, I'm going to read chapter 4 one more time, 1 and 4, which is actually happening now. And like I said, I've actually posted it on my, because we got a lot of, feel wet. I've got a lot of, we got a lot of polygamy, polygyny, or, you know, a lot of women are standing up now talking about, and understanding that, you know, a man needs more than one woman. And not only that the man needs more than one woman, that the women need help as well by having a sister wife in the house with them. A lot of people are talking about that nowadays. It's really coming out. It's coming up. It's coming out. And to understand, see, and we got to understand this is a spiritual and an awakening happening amongst our people. We're coming back to know who we are and where we are in the world today. But the key is, like I started off the whole conversation, what's our purpose? What's your purpose? What's your purpose in the earth? What's your purpose for being here? Why are we here on the earth? Why did your seed make it to this plane here in the earth today? We got a lot of people who are, some people would say, useless eaters. They just here for nothing. Then you got a lot of people that's here for a purpose, and they don't even know their purpose. And you got a lot of people who don't even care about their purpose. They're just here living the world because the world is giving them what they're giving them. But the key is this. Esau, and I shared this in the conversation earlier. Esau was given a promise. And his promise, he's holding strong to the birthright that he sold to us. He's holding strong to it. And we got to use this to get our birthright back. The pen and paper, which is the iron rod. This is where we are today. We have to know how to get back where we're supposed to be in order to stand as we should as a people and to be freed from the system. Because people don't realize they're slaves. They are slaves to this system. When you call yourself a citizen, you are a slave, Slav. No different than Prince. How he would, no matter, see how Prince was living lavishly. Michael Jackson was living lavishly. They were living beyond the means of regular people. But they were slaves. No different than the average working man that's getting up, going to work every day. They're slaves. You're being taught to be a slave from kindergarten till you graduate, and then as you go to work every day. You're being a slave for the system. It's 3 ways. Just hit me. I just gave you one. This is the average way, which would we get up, go to work, go home. But first, get up, go to school, go to lunch, back to class, then home. Until you graduate, and then either go to college, do the same thing, or come out of school and then go to work. Get up, go to work, go to lunch, back to work, then home. As a battery in the matrix. This is the problem of today, and people don't understand why that this is how they're living. But it's time to wake up. We're in the day now. Our time, I just read in Zephaniah chapter 2. verse 1, 2, and 3. We are in the day not to wake up, but it's up to you to want to wake up. And until you wake up, as it states in there, you got to seek the Creator's word. You got to seek his way. Once you do that, you'll be able to see. But until then, we're at the end of part one. We're going to go into part two. So before we do, I'd just like to say, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm the same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwelled, who deceived the whole world but prevailed not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. We go ready to pause. I'm not going to go through the formalities with Zoom because they get everything at the end since this is just one full video. But we'll share everything else at the end of part one with everybody else. So Zoom, we're going to pause you. Julian, you can hold on, but G1, you can hold on real quick. Just want to pause this real quick. Zoom, we'll be right back with part two. Hey. All right, we're back, we're back, we're back, we're back. Greetings, 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 family, friends, and the world. This is Mikael Eric Harris, better known as the Juice, also known as the Alkaline Water Guy. And this is Fight Fire with Truth tonight, which is open conversation of tonight. Tonight, well, this was yesterday was the last day of August, which was August 31st, which was Sunday, August 31st. Yesterday was the last day of August. Tonight is the night before September 1st. Tonight is the night before September 1st. And just to let everyone know, I had a little incident week about 2 weeks ago almost, about 2 Mondays ago. I cut my tendon on my baby finger. That's why you see this wrapped up like it is. I had to have surgery this past Wednesday, but I ended up cutting it because I was actually cutting a cord that I actually cut with the trim with the hedgers. Cut the hedger by mistake by moving some shreds, and then I put my finger on the blade and cut the cord. So I'm cutting the cord without putting a glove on and cut across my tendon. And when I tried to straighten it up like that, that mother went down like that. I said I got to go to the hospital. So they end up stitching it up, and then I had to have surgery on it this past Wednesday. So that's the reason why my hand is wrapped up at the moment. So that's why you see my hand looking the way it's looking. But it's not broke. It just was a tendon that needed to be had surgery with. But other than that, tonight our conversation, open conversation, and what we started with, no one was in at first, so I started off on what's our purpose? What is your purpose in the earth? What is our purpose? So I end up sharing and going from that point, and I started talking about our purpose and things that's going on today. Then I went into Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 31 through 37, and in 30, at the time of 33 and 34, showing that our actual purpose is keeping the law. That's what everybody that's going to end up being here, that's going to be the key because everyone's going to keep the law. It says no one going to teach each other at the end time or at the end of everything. They're not going to have to teach each other. The ones that know the law, the ones that he going to put his laws, he said that he's going to put his anointing, might as well say he's going to put his anointing on them and put his laws in their inward parts. And they all going to know him, which is all those who's going to know him that studies the law. They're going to know him from the least of them to the greatest of them. But also we're in a day of separation. So as I was sharing that, went in the conversation about that, and then start sharing information about Zephaniah because of what we're in today and our purpose that a lot of people are not even taking heed or understanding what our real purpose is. A lot of people are just here as useless eaters. They're just out here just eating and they're just here just living life and don't even have a purpose behind what they're doing. We have a lot of them just living the life of this world, which is the system, which the system has gotten them in their mind. And many have started to awaken to know what our purpose is according to the Creator, which is to live according to His law. That's our real purpose. But everybody else has another purpose outside of living by the law, because we all have something that we can do. Me, I know my purpose. I made a promise. My promise and my purpose is that if you brought me to the truth, I'll put it in songs and writing and give it to the world. It's up to the world to accept it or reject it. I come to know that Yah's word is truth. To understand His word and to understand prophecy is what I do, is to share the information, and also to understand the words and the information in order to get to understand everything that we may miss. So, but I also know that I'm not a know-it-all. So, in my 30 years since my spiritual awakening, since then and to today, I've learned a great deal of information. That's why I can go into start sharing with you with information on when it comes to the iron rod. This is the iron rod. This is the same thing that put everybody in slavery. This is the rod which actually, and I was also sharing, matter of fact, before I make my statement first, that put everybody in servitude and made everybody a citizen, right? Now, let me give you an understanding with citizen real quick, because a citizen is a slave. And this is the problem we have there. People like being slaves. We have a lot of people who don't like being slaves, but they don't know how to come off from under the system from being a slave. And let me give you an understanding between a slave and a sovereign. A slave, which is a citizen, and a sovereign. Now, I always make this analogy, but I make it again since we're right here tonight, for those who may not know. Is your purpose of being a slave, or is your purpose of being free? Because that's all sovereign means, is free. But let me give you an understanding of being a slave, which is a citizen. If you ever heard of a warden is what they call the ward over a prison. No different than the ward of the state. If you ever heard that terminology, the ward of the state. The ward is the warden of the state over the citizens. So let's go to the prison system first. A warden is over the prison. He's the HNIC, which they call the head nigga in charge, as what we call it as well. The head nigga in charge over a prison, right? Now, he's the head HNIC in the prison. So under him is the prisoners, the ones that come in that sentence. They're the ones that's under the warden. But also don't forget the officers are excuse me, are under the warden as well. So you have the prisoners as well as the officers are under the warden. Now on this side, on the citizen, or on the community, or in the world today, you have the ward of the state. You have the state is the warden over the citizens. The state is the ward over the citizens. The citizens is at the lower level. But you have these officers, judges, lawyers, prosecutors, clerks, and everything in those offices over the citizens. That's why they're taking funds from you, and you don't know that you are being bullied and bombarded. Actually, they're taking. Then you don't realize that you've been taken for threat, duress, fraud, and extortion. The system is doing it to the citizens. A lot of people don't know that. So this is the ward, which is the warden over the citizens and over the officers as well. So this is the state is the warden over the citizens and the people. People call themselves a citizen. You're proud of it, but you don't know that you're a slave. You just don't know. No different than we know that the warden is over the prisoners and the guards. You don't know you are slaves. This is how you come off from under it, but it takes knowledge. My people are destroyed for lack of it. The lack of knowledge is the reason why you're in the position that you're in. A lot of people like going and looking at the games. You got to understand. And I was sharing this, as I said earlier. I was sharing, it was a statement that a brother made. I think Keith Wilkins made a post, and I actually put a post on there as well. I mean, I shared some information under his post that I actually shared. And it was saying that a lot of Hebrew Israelites, or not say, a lot of people talk about when you're supposed to go to the promised land because you are in the land of your captivity. And I said, realize it or not, that's what I said. Realize it or not, the whole world is in captivity since the time of the Greeks and the Roman Empire. The whole world is in captivity. And everybody, well, no, we got to go to our land. Even in the land is under captivity. Until you use the iron rod, get off from under captivity, you are in captivity. You're going to stay in captivity until you learn how to use the iron rod with the laws, not legalese, but the laws, and to get off from under the rod of the Greek, which is really now the Roman Empire. And the Roman Empire is Esau, which is the Edomites, or whatever you want to call it. However, y'all want to say, a lot of, like I said earlier in part one, people said, no, the Arabians is the Edomites. No, the white man is the Edomite. No, the man in power, which is true, which is really the prophecy of Esau that's supposed to come to pass, or that has come to pass. How do you know that? Let me show you. Chapter 1 was pretty good. We actually went into the women of today and this feminism movement as well, the last part of it. Y'all need to go check that out. But right now, we're going to go into Genesis chapter 27. I'm going to show you where it was first spoken, or should I say, where it was prophesied. It was prophesied. And you can see in here, in his blessing that was given to him, how his prophecy came to pass. Right over here in Genesis. Now I'm going to show you both of them, but I'm going to give you. I'll come back to Jacob, which is us. We are Jacob. But right here, Esau's blessing. Esau's blessing is the key that people don't realize. When it states right here in in Genesis 27, verse 8 through 38 through 40, it gives you Esau's blessing and the reason and how he's in charge today. And until you take your birthright back, which I'm going to start there first, your birthright is in Genesis 25. The blessing first was given to Jacob about the elder going to serve the younger. We're the younger. We, the black man, the ones that is old nation not desired, I spoke of in Zephaniah chapter 2 in part 1. Gather yourself together, old nation not desired. We are that nation of people who are not desired. And by not being desired, we are the ones who every nation looked down upon. Why? Because of prophecy. But what's your purpose? Your purpose is to rise. Rise, young man. Oh, it was a rise, ye. I think Marcus Garvey said it, and I can't say the way that he said it. Rise. It's a statement that he said. But where's our purpose? Our purpose is to rise. See, we're at the bottom of the totem pole. We don't know it. We're satisfied where we at. But we have a promise. But over here in verse 19, the birth of Esau and Jacob. In verse 19 it says, and these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son, Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife. I don't know if I told you. We had Genesis 25, verse 19. We're at 20 now. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandaram, the sister of Laban the Syrian. 21. And Isaac entreated Yah for his wife because she was barren. She couldn't have children. And Yah was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. So he prayed to the Creator. She conceived. 22. And the children, so see, a lot of people look at this and they don't understand the process of time. You have to go through a process of time in order for this to happen. It didn't happen right then. 22. And the children struggled together within her. So after a process of time, maybe in the 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 months later, maybe, the children struggled together within her. And she said, if this be so, if this be of the Creator, why am I like this? Why am I thus? Why am I like this? And she, a lot of people think it says, and she went to inquire of Yah. She went to go see a prophet. That's how she went to go inquire. She had to go see a prophet, and the prophet told her what she needed to know. And she went to inquire of Yah. 23. And Yah said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. 2 different type of, I ain't say nationality, 2 different type of people. 2 different mindsets. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people. And today I still say Esau is the stronger. When I say Esau is the stronger, look at the world today. We can't come together for nothing. He's stronger than us according to his military might, his thought, his way, his weaponry. He get out here, the things that he do and his mindset. I say that. Now, I'm not saying he's over us. We over him. But the difference is, it didn't say which one. Everybody want to say, well, yeah, we're the better, yeah, we're the stronger there. We're the more athletic, more clever. We are the more agile. We are more when it comes to individuality and when it comes to us. We are the tops when it comes to that. But when it comes to strategic thinking, strategic, when it comes to war, all these different things, that's one of the reasons why as well. War. Look at how they put the armies together. Look how they put the brigades together. Look how they put all the things that they put together. They're stronger than us. We can't come together. We can come together in small groups to do it, but we can't do it like them. Look at the tanks. The army, look how they, if you really be true with yourself, you can see the facts. Now, just because I'm true to myself don't mean I'm putting them over me. I'm just
Hey yo, I wouldn't say that he's definitely not stronger mentally or physically. What it is that he is designed to be the murderer, and he's born out of wickedness and murder. So his specialty is
war,
destruction and
war.
Yeah, so but he's definitely not physically or mentally stronger. Like, we have more brain power, more physical power. He's weak bone, weak blooded. All of his genetics are
weaker than us. I agree.
Yeah. Everything he's weaker. Period. You know what I'm saying? So let's be clear about that. And he's designed to murder. So yeah, he's definitely that's not our nature to do this type of thing.
And that's the reason why you just said it. You just said it, bro. Because if it's not in your nature to be like that, a person can take that and they can manipulate you with like they do with these
Yeah, but see, he's weak and wicked, so he dominates when it comes to being in these categories, like you said. So it seems like he's outdoing us. But what it is like you said, he knows that conquer through divisions. He knows that we can't work well together divided. He knows that as long as he keep us divided, we can't do the things that we supposed to. And that's what the devil thrive on, is keeping everybody separated. That's
And
why he created, like you said, the Willie Lynch, the grand against the woman, the
there
old
you
against the
go.
young, the east side versus the west, the light skin, dark skin, the gangs,
There
all
you
of these
go.
different separations. Yeah, he got to keep it separate. Even countries, all of these fictitious borders. Oh, you from this place? You know, when we all original people, he's the only one that has no melanin. He is the one that is not of any type of dominant. You know what I mean? He's the non-melanated man out of the whole population on the planet Earth. Everybody is melanated. He's the one drop of milk in a teaspoon and a cup of coffee. You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
I'm
yeah,
with you
man.
100%. Just like I say, we dominate in everything we do. But when it comes to them working together, when it comes to war, there you go, war. When it comes to them being in the point where putting armies together, mainly just everything when it comes to
Yeah, he's a warmonger, bro. Like straight up.
that's what I'm going to get at that point, at his blessing. That's the reason why he's the stronger at this point. Even though we know that we're stronger in many ways, we're dominant. There we go. We're dominant in every way, but he's stronger when it comes to war and putting things like that together. That's the reason why our mindset, we're stronger, but he can take that same mindset and twist it to a point where he's stronger than us by the things that he do. I'm not, like I said, I'm not putting him over us. This thing right here is tripping. There you go. Yeah, I don't put them over us, but my main thing, I see things for what they are and how it is stated. And again, over here in 23, it says, and Yah said unto her, two nations are in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder is going to serve us. We're the younger. We're coming to that point for our blessing now. But well, I ain't gonna spoil it, but I done said it several times. But since we're right here, for those who come for to see this for the first time, they'll get a chance to see and understand what's being said. Verse 24. And when her days to be delivered, see, this is prophecy, and this is what I was telling Julia some months back. This got her to understand who we are as a people. This right here was prophesied before they came out the womb. This is the reason why they hate us so much. They hate us because, I'm going to share with you in a few moments. First, the birthright, we got to get back because he sold us the birthright, but he's taking back the birthright, and it's up to us to get it back with our knowledge. This is what I'm getting at about our purpose. What is our purpose? We all have a different type of purpose, but we all have a purpose to be here on this earth for a purpose. It says, 24, and when her days to be delivered was fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. 25. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. The elder, which is Esau, is going to serve the younger. 26. And after that came his brother out, and and his hand took hold on Esau's heel. And his name was called Jacob, or Yaakov, actually. And Isaac was 80 old when she bare them. So he was 40 when he took her to wife, but he was 20 years later when they had a child, when they had the twins, should I say. 27. And the boys grew, and see, now process of time. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter. That's another thing about him. He's a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man. He was just a regular man dwelling in tents. Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. But y'all know how Esau is. He got camouflage on. He getting out there and looking like the elks and looking like the camouflage in order to catch his prey. 28. And Isaac loved Esau. Now, this is the father. Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of the venison of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Now, this is where Esau sold his birthright. This is what we got to get back because he's taking the birthright by when we get a birth certificate, social security card, and then the ID card, he has taken our birthright at birth. That's why I always share in this day and time where we at when that old saying we have been born in sin and raised in iniquity, however that goes. Born in iniquity and raised no, born in sin and raised in iniquity. This is where we at right now. This is where we at. We don't know it because this is what we've come. No different than I was sharing with you in part one. It's been 100 years. They've taken the Constitution and the country. They, when I say they, the Rockefellers and all the others. I told you I'm gonna put the post in here. Y'all gonna see the post. I'm gonna put it in the link. I'm gonna put the link in the post. Before everything, after everything is done, take that link. This guy break it down. He said in 1913, I'm telling you this one more time. 1913, that's when they came up. I don't want to say nothing wrong, but they came up with a lot of things that took over the system. And then in 1914 is when the First World War hit. They came out with the First World War. So in 1913 is when they started everything against the people. It's been 100 years. And I also was sharing in part one about just 2 points that they took and that the people don't realize. They've taken your right to bear arms, your right to carry, we could say a weapon, but in commercialized to say gun, but we're not supposed to use that terminology. It's the right to bear arms. We have the right to bear arms, but our people are going to jail because they're trying to take away your rights. But the people don't know. That's one. The second, you have the right to travel. Everybody around here, the reason I brought that up in part one is because, like I said, these policemen took a vehicle from somebody who paid for it. People out here paying top dollar for the cars and stuff that they getting. They paying for it. It's already paid for. And they're coming taking what they didn't already paid for, but the people don't know because they brainwashed. And they don't sit up and study what they need to know to find out, do y'all really know if everything Trump is doing is right or wrong? I just want to ask the question because I'm not part of the system. I'm not even part of the system. But if you don't do your study and the research for yourself, you're only going by what you've been told and what you think. No different than they didn't take away your right to bear arms and they're taking people to jail for nothing. People are in jail for nothing today. Why? Because they don't know the law. They don't know the law. People are talking stuff today because they don't know the law. People are following others, follow, because they don't know the law. That's the problem, and this is the reason why my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge is sad. So right here, this is the reason why our birthright has been taken. Everybody's got a birth certificate, social security card, and ID card has been taken. How? Like this right here. Your mother was an informant, and you don't even realize it. And they made her informant in order for her to turn you over to the state, to the system. As I shared with you at the beginning of this right here, the state is the warden over the citizens and over the judges, the cops, and everybody else. The state is the ward, which is the warden. A citizen is a slave, and y'all don't even know it. Someone try to share information with you, y'all don't want to listen. The iron rod is going to free you, but you have to want to learn, to study, to know, to get freed from the birthright that they stolen from you. They stole it from you and you don't even know. Right here, it was given. Why? He sold it. And here you go, right here. This is, see, he was supposed to get the birthright, but it was already prophesied the elder gonna serve the younger. It was already prophesied. But let's go over here in verse 29 right now. Esau sells his birthright. Genesis chapter 25, verse 29. It states, and Jacob sod pottage. He made some pottage. And Esau came from the field, and he was faint. Came from the field, from out there. He was a cunning hunter. He came from the field. He was faint. Verse 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom, red pottage. Therefore, that's why they say his name's called Edom. 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. You see that? See, they had to keep their word back then. Back then, today, word go in and out the door. But when they did things at that time, their word was their bond. Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? I'm at the point to die. But you know something? If he would have died, then it went to Jacob anyway. But he didn't hold out long enough to say, well, I ain't gonna do that. Let me go ask mama for some food. Let me go out here and get me something from. He wanted to get what he had right then and there. And let me give y'all something. Let me share something with y'all. I gotta give you this scenario. I'm gonna tell you the difference between Caucasian. I don't like saying white and black, but I'll say white and black for this time. Let me give y'all the difference between white and black. I had two cats when I was in Mississippi. I had a white cat. No. Let me rephrase that. I had a black cat that had babies, that had kittens, right? The black cat was the mother cat. She had kittens. Long story short, some of the kids died out of the street because people was running up and down the street, whatever. One of the cats grew up, and it was like a fluffy Siamese cat, but it was white. I don't like saying white, but it was a white cat, right? The black cat was the mother cat. I seen the difference just in the animals. The black cat stayed for a minute. It disappeared. When I say disappeared, it left. I ain't seen it for months. The white cat grew up around me. I remember when I was eating flesh. I was eating fish. I remember having a fish on the sink, sitting up thawing out and stuff, what have you. And that mother said, I get that cat, what have you. But the whole thing, that cat would bug me to death. Want to eat. Wouldn't go out and get nothing for itself. That cat stayed around me, white cat. I'm showing you the difference. And I'm showing you the two manners of people right here and what happened with me. That black cat left, came back pregnant, had another litter. That white cat just stayed. That cat didn't go nowhere. Tell me if y'all don't know any Caucasians that stays on the job forever. Y'all know how we is, melanated. We'll get up and go, well, I'll go find another job. I'll go make my own. I'll do this. I'll do that. We would get out and do it ourselves. Caucasians. Now, when I say Caucasian, I just don't like saying white and black because that's a status. So I'm not being racial, just so y'all know. If y'all would think that, I'm not being racial. I don't like saying white and black because it doesn't compute with me. White is a status. Black is a status. And their colors. Caucasian is a people. Melanated is a type of people. Got many different melanated people, nationalities. But, a quote unquote, again, on the black and white cat, just saying it on that point of view. The black cat left again, came back, had no kittens again in my bathroom. The black cat knew where home was. The black cat knew where home was, And it came back home, had children, and left again. I don't think I seen it after that. I don't think I did. It may have came back once or twice, whatever. But that black cat, I mean that white cat stayed. And I don't remember what ended up happening to it. But things, time go on, what have you. But all I'm saying is in that same scenario, I see the same thing today when it comes to people, when it comes to Caucasians, when they get on a job. When they get on a job, they try to stay on that job. And if they get fired, y'all done heard about me back in the day, many post office shootings and people like that. These Caucasians go crazy if they get fired. On some of them anyway. I can't say all of them. Robert Craig, what's going on? LOL. Am not a satisfied. Am not satisfied where we at. Okay, you're not satisfied where we at. I don't use white and black either. Okay, I hear you, bro. That's good because I don't. That's my brother Robert Craig. I'm surprised you ain't come on Zoom with us, bro. But glad you're here. But yet still, just sharing with you that's it. I see and that example with my cats, I'm looking at in the scriptures, I'm looking at in today's time. Prophecy and everything explains itself. You can see it. You just have to have an open eye to see things happening as it's happening. So, again, verse 29. And Jacob stood outside pottage, and Esau came in from the field, and he was faint. 30. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. He wanted his pottage. For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Esau. 31. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? See what I'm saying? He had to have that. He couldn't go nowhere else and get it. He wanted to get it right then and right there. 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. He swear. Swear to me this day, and he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. This is where we're at today. You have to know how to go about getting it, though. It's not just given to you because this is the reason why they are in the position that they are in. See, and a lot of stuff just coming to me right now as I'm speaking. This goes to show if you're serious about Yah. Serious about the credit, because this information me and my baby getting, we understand. You have to come back to Yah to be free. I'm just going to be straight up with you. You got to come back to the Creator. It's a lot behind some of the stuff that I'm sharing with you, but you got to come back. Not think about, okay, I'm just coming back in the book. No, because that's halfway. That's halfway. It's a whole lot more. You got to get your birthright. You got to know how to use the iron rod. See, a lot of people talking about, well, that's man, and that's you talking. It's stuff you don't know. It's stuff you need to know. You got to do research. You got to study all over, because what you have learned, you've learned what they wanted you to learn. Now it's time for you to learn what you need to know. And that takes studying, researching, and not being lazy. See, when you get lazy, it's a statement in the New Testament that states, the race isn't given to the swift nor the strong, but for those who endure to the end. I understand what that means now. I totally understand, and overstand what that means now. But it all depends on where you want to be. And this is legacy for you and your children. Yeah. That's what this is about. See, we got to see, in order for us, the Father's going to put his knowledge back into it, but you have to seek him with your whole heart, your whole mind, your whole soul. And it is about the law, because it's all about the law, but it's the law on paper. It's the law, knowing the law on paper and using it for your benefit. That's what it's about. So much more that y'all, it's a whole lot more than you think. A lot of people in the world, but it's a whole lot more than you think. Whole lot more. And I'm just thankful y'all got me where I am to know what I know, to share what I come to know, to give to the people. I told you, that's why I told you, I know who I am. I know my purpose. I know my purpose. But what's your purpose? We all got a purpose. Everybody can come. Everybody might find a little bit. So when they start learning this information, they can find a little something out here, a little bit there, but you got to put it in the right place at the right time. But again, and Jacob said, swear to me, verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage and lentils, and he did eat. So he gave him bread and pottage of lentils, not in lentils, bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink and rose up. So he ate. After he got full, what happened? And went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He was upset. Now we're going to go over to 27. We're going to go over to 27 to give the understanding now to the reason why he's in control of the birthright today. Now I'm giving you to understand why Esau is in control of the birthright today. Now, if you read, I'm not going to go through this because I'll be in here long. I'm 40-something minutes in already. So I'm not going to go through the full 27. Y'all have to read it all for yourself. But first, I'm going to give you Esau's blessing to let you understand why he's under the birthright today, why he has taken over the way he has. All this, the signs of everything that's going on today or that has happened, you can see right here in the scriptures. This is prophecy. This is what I'm saying people don't know, but you have to understand it for what it is. We're going to start at verse 37. Genesis 27, verse 37. And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. Y'all hear that? That's us. That's us that he gave, that he did this to. But you have to read the story to understand. But first you got to understand it was already prophesied that he was to get it. Jacob was to get it. Again, 37. And Isaac answered and said to Esau, behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. With corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee? What shall I do now unto thee, my son? 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and he cried. He wept. He cried because that was supposed to be his blessing. But it was prophesied he's going to get the blessing, remember? It was prophecy before they came out the womb. 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. And this is where he's at. He is taking over the earth. First, I'm going to give you facts on this in a minute, since I'm right here. First, I'm going to do that. Go to Jacob. Then I'm going to go back here, then take you where he has gotten the fatness of the earth. Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. The fatness of the earth, which was given to us first, the dew of heaven, and then the fatness of the earth. But he got the fatness of the earth first. And the dew of heaven from above. This is your key for Esau, or the man in charge today over the system. And by thy sword, by war, by thy sword, and by war shalt thou live. This is the reason why he's the stronger. This is the reason why he's strong. By war shall he live. And you know something? He used our people to do it as well. That's what I'm talking about. See, it's not just Esau. He got all nations and people in his armies. He got the tanks. He got the planes. He actually have the guns that he put in our neighborhood, our own people to kill each other. You see what I'm saying? He got our people so brainwashed that we're killing each other. They done took a good thing and switched it to making something evil, as G1 said a little earlier. And as I've shared as well, that Queen Mother always say they made the bait and switch. When the Bloods came out, they were supposed to be supposed to be good. When the Crips came out, they supposed to be good. They switched to something evil and bad. And you know somebody came in and probably put something in their ear, man, you can probably get paid. You can do this. You can do that. And they start, and then you know how things get to talking. Next thing you know, okay, I'm over here. They Bloods, we Crips, and whatever. Now they're gangs. You got gang against gang, you got gangs against the people. You got gangs trying to pull people into their. It's sad, but this is prophecy. This is what I mean. They manipulate, and just like Juwan said as well, they manipulate the minds of the people. It's all about the negative, which makes them stronger in a sense. They the one who go around. I just got through talking to this brother day before yesterday. I didn't even get into conversation with him because they so against Trump. I'm up in this store. Oh, well, Trump and them is doing this and he's doing that and everything he doing. And you know what? Everything is so Trump, 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 Trump. I ain't heard nothing about nobody saying anything about any of this country and anything they did until Trump got into power. When Trump got into power, he's the evilest thing on, but all the stuff they've been doing up until this point, you don't hear nothing about them saying that. You don't hear nothing about them wars that they have caused. You don't hear nothing about them, the reason why Gandhi and Hussein and all these other people, the stuff that they went, they done killed, took their land, and all the stuff they did to all these other. You don't talk nothing about that. But Trump is the most evilest thing out. That was what gets me. They don't say nothing about none of them and all the stuff that Kamala and them was going. They don't even realize how they've been robbing the people the whole thing. They don't know. Even though Trump and Elon Musk went in and found all the funds that they was using, even off the people that's not here, your ancestors, your people that has passed, they still collecting funds from their accounts. You don't know it, and y'all, and I'm saying you, I'm talking about those who still don't even choose to even look up the information to find out, because they're too Trump deranged and delusional. They can't see past whatever they're looking at. Like I say, I don't have a dog in the fight because I'm not a part of that system. I'm sovereign. I'm not a part of them citizens. I'm not a citizen. I can't vote. I don't vote. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. The sad part is the people that's in the world and of the world, in the world and of the world, don't do their research. They're followers. They're destroyed for lack of knowledge. Oh man, it's sad. But again, verse 40. And by thy sword, which is by war, shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. See? By war shall he live, and he's going to serve his brother by war. Now, to me, I can see this two different ways. He already served us because he done came against us in warfare in many different type of ways. In genocide, in the streets, on the police force, and everything else they've been doing against us as a people. Then, also, I believe that he's going to turn and be for us because prophecy is going to be fulfilled. He's going to serve us and help us with everything else. Why? Because he's the army. We're the spiritual head. We are the father. He's the physical. He's going to be handling everything else for us. That's my thoughts. That's what I see for our future with Esau. That's my thoughts anyway. I can't say that's right or wrong. Just my thoughts. But let's keep it moving. But say, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And it, here we go again, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, when he shall have the dominion. Don't he got the dominion today? Isn't he in charge of the earth today? Isn't everywhere he go and conquer by war? He'll manipulate you one way and then take it over. That's what they do. That's Esau. And well, Esau is this people and they that. No, Esau is the ones who are in charge of the system. They're the one. I don't care. Esau's seed is in every nation in this earth. Ours is too. But Esau is the one in charge and in power and trying to keep power in every way. If we have common sense to see and understand, to
Yo,
see.
even in the lessons, it talks about, Yakub is the one who created the weaker man, the devil himself, and then the reason he made him was so that he could the earth for 6,000 years. You know what I'm saying? And so, that's just, and that's a lot of people like, you say is Jacob. It just means Yakub and Jacob is the same person.
Okay.
Same person. Yeah.
So you okay? I heard the story of Yakub, and Yakub supposed to have made the quote unquote, I don't like saying white man, the Caucasian.
Separate, because in the black man is the germ. You
Right.
we can create all races. If you study out of Africa, everything started out.
You fading out, fading out. Let me hear you say again. G.
Okay. Can you hear me good now?
Now I hear you. Yeah, I hear you good now.
Yeah, I had to cover up with my hoodie. Hey, yo, so like if you study the out of Africa, the guy how people travel out of Africa, if you want to know how all the different races, how you see so many races that you see today, you know what I mean? But they all started out as dark-skinned people coming out of Africa, and we spread all across, at one time the whole
World.
all the Pangea was, Asia. That's why you call it the Asian. We
That's
are
true.
the original Asian, because the Caucasian, he lacks the melanin or whatever like that. But like, all right, so blonde hair, blue eyes, that trait just came into existence like 6,000 years ago, like 6,000 something hundred years ago.
Okay.
But he created Yakub's purpose of creating this man was so that he can rule over people. He wanted to create a people that would rule over his own people. You know what I mean? Yeah, because he was like this mad scientist. You know what I mean? So he written genetically. That's how the story goes. Genetically, that he created them, and they became weak and wicked, and they were no longer like the original. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, man, his purpose, like you said, the whole thing about you talking about purpose. He has a purpose, and he's doing his purpose.
Right.
Like,
I've heard that story. I never actually read it fully, but I've heard it many times. But go ahead, finish up on it.
Yeah, read into it. But basically, Yakub, was built. He built this man, according to lessons that, in order to move over. And then at the end, one of the lessons it says that why did God create the devil? So that he could show and prove all this time that he was above him, that he's stronger than him. You know what I mean? That he could create a man that was weak and wicked and rule over, and then at the end of the day, so that you could break through and show that you are still all powerful over him. You know what I mean? Yeah, so it's like, if you really the original man, if you the supreme being, nothing that's going on right now that this devil's doing at the end of the day can stop him. You know what I mean? And that is like it says, together we are stronger than we are divided. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's like we come together as one. Like you said, it's nothing we can't do. You know what I mean? But he has a purpose. His purpose is to go to this planet and to do everything he's doing. Just like the government, they have a purpose. So when people try to talk about this, the Democrat, the Republican, the government is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And just like the devil does what it's supposed to do, it's out against his people. The devil every day when he gets people to fall to him and become bowed out and be up under his wing, he's doing what he's supposed to do.
You fading out, bro.
Exactly what he's supposed to be doing. Basically, he's going to get all the people that he can. He's ruling over majority of people because this is what he's supposed to be doing. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. What you saying is he's doing his purpose, which he is. Right? Am I correct? What he's saying is Yakub, what he said, because a lot of y'all may know about the story about Yakub. I've heard it plenty of times, but I don't know it fully in the distinctive way that a lot of people know it. But he actually made the Yakub, I believe he was melanated, and he made the Caucasians to do a purpose of the stuff that's going on today as it's happening the way it's happening. Am I correct about that, G?
Genes exist to where you can break it down to the brown germ, to the yellow germ, till you get to the white and the red germ. You know, all of these the germ of life in you. You know what I mean? That's why you can have a black person create all the colors, all the races. So everybody, we are all one. But see, the devil wants you to think that, through the separation, that, the Caucasian and the Asian, the original being,
Man, your phone going now. I wish I haven't got my new computer yet. Funds that got short. But yeah, bro. Hey, I got you though, bro. But if anybody know about the story of Yakub, that's what G1 was just sharing. And as I think it was saying, is that Yakub it was like the gene splicing until it got all the way down to the Caucasian what they were. But according to the story here, he's saying that both of them kind of coincide. But this right here is what I know is according to with the scriptures and what the creator has said, according to what I know, according to this story. And Yakub, or should I say, at this point, we're talking about Esau. Esau is the one who actually is, and by thy sword shall thou live. And this is why the world is in the position that it is in this point in time. I sure wish that was more clear where I could have really heard him a lot clearer, but it was kind of, he was here, but it was kind of fading out. And it said, it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. The dominion is the dominion of the earth. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes how he got dominion according to the scripture. According to the scripture. That thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck, that he shall break our yoke, because we was in charge at a certain place and time at one time. And that was Genesis 27. But now let me go give you us before I move on. This is us. This is our blessing. And I'll start at chapter 27, verse 26. And I'll take that down to 29. Verse 26 says, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. Now he's talking to Jacob. This is before Isaac. This is Isaac talking to Jacob, and Jacob had deceived Isaac because of his mother, because of what was told to her and when both children was in the womb, right? So what happened was that she dressed him up to feel like Esau. So now when you read the whole story of Genesis 27, you can see majority of the information happening. And then when it states over here 27 again, it says 26, it says, and his father Isaac said unto him, come near now and kiss me, my son. Verse 27. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field. Isaac was blind at this time. For those who may not know the story, if you go read the story, Isaac went blind, and by him going blind, he couldn't see. But he had Esau to go and go hunting and make him some venison so he can bless him before he died. bless him before he died. His mother overheard it. Just give you a synopsis. Rebecca overheard it. While Esau was gone, she told Jacob to go and get 2 kids so she can dress it for him. And she made the venison, and Jacob went in to go and get the blessing. So, and this is where we at now. So that's a synopsis of the full story to where we at with Jacob right now. So, and it says, verse 27, and he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of raiment and blessed him and said, see, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field which Yah has blessed. 28 and 29 is our blessing. It says, therefore, Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth. If you notice, it says the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. The dew of heaven, I look at that as being spiritual. Yah give him the dew of heaven, which is spiritual, and the fatness of the earth. But if you over here in 39, it says he give Esau, thy dwelling should be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven. But over here 28 again, which is for us, therefore Yah give thee of the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. 29. This is individually. Listen at what's being said. This is happening for the remnant. My understanding of seeing this is individually. Watch. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. That's to us as a people. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. That's them to us as a people and the remnant, and many of us that turn to the Creator's word. Cursed be everyone that curses thee. See? Cursed be everyone that curses you. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. That's the individual. That's why I say this is the remnant. This blessing is for the remnant. When I say the remnant, those who choose to turn towards the Creator to do the Creator's will. And when you turn towards the Creator to do the Creator's will, all these things is going to happen for you. When you start to do the Creator's will, then you have, therefore, it say, therefore, Yah give thee the dew of heaven and the fatness of the earth and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve thee. And if you are of the Creator, people going to come and help you in many different type of ways. That's how come I learned the information I come to learn and know. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren and let now think about this. He's telling you to be Lord over your brethren. If you got the blessing of the Creator on you, the brothers and stuff that call themselves as being against you, they're either going to want to be with you or for you, or they're going to be against you and they're going to be cursed. And that's with your own people. That's going on in the families today. A lot of us, it talks about two of a family, one of a city, two of a family. It talks about things that's happening with us today. Many of us are black sheep in the family. But there's a purpose for you, especially you, the black sheep. You got to get in the knowledge to know. The more you get in the knowledge to know, the quicker you'll be able to get to your end of the road. Until then, it's going to be like you doing the turmoil and you just fighting an uphill battle through wind, snow, and hail. But if you walking and rolling with the Creator, doing His word, seeking His will, and learning, the understanding will come a lot quicker. Let people serve thee and nations, 29. Genesis 27:29. Let people serve thee and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be every one that curseth thee, which is you, and blessed be he that blesseth thee. Anybody that bless you, that person going to be blessed because the things they're doing for you. You got the blessings of the Father upon you. See, and when I see this, I don't see this as a nation. I see this as individual people in this day and time. What they did, they say, and by thy sword, mean by war. They worship and they deal with war together. And that's how they build together. Even if they're against each other, they come together for war. We, excuse me, we just plain men. Even said it. Jacob was just a plain man. So what we do is we're gonna help people with what we do, how we do, the way we do. And either people gonna help us or they're gonna be against us. But that blessing is gonna be upon us to either help them or for them to be cursed because of how they come against us. That's it. But now let me give you the understanding to the reason why. And by thy sword shalt thou live, and shall serve thy brother. And when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Let's go over here to Daniel chapter 2, verse 39. This right here was prophecy. It was prophecy, but it was a dream given to Nebuchadnezzar. This is what I keep trying to get people to see. And a lot of people still choose. Let me give y'all what I gave them today. I'm giving y'all what I gave them today at the end of this situation. Daniel chapter 2, we're going to start over here at we'll start at 36. This was the statue of gold. I know a lot of people heard this statue. The head of gold, the arm and chest of silver, the torso down to the thighs of brass, and the legs and the feet of iron, and the legs and the feet was of iron, but the feet was mixed with iron and clay. And I break this down to this whole situation. When you break it down, the head was, when you look at the information, the head was Babylon, and Nebuchadnezzar was the main king that was ruling in that time, and he was like a golden cup in the Creator's hand. So the head was Nebuchadnezzar. The chest and the arms was the Medes and the Persians. The Medes and the Persians. The chest with the arms. Then you had the torso, which was the Greeks, which is you're going to see that they ruled over the whole earth. This is where the whole earth went into, not idolatry, but went into captivity. The whole earth went into captivity right here. And see, a lot of people are like, oh, go to the land. The Father said, keep the commandments everywhere you go. Now, certain things we're supposed to do in our homeland, but everywhere we go, we're supposed to keep the commandments. We're supposed to be an example to the world. We're supposed to be an example to the world because the whole world is His. We're supposed to be a kingdom of priests. How are we going to be a kingdom of priests only? Well, we got to go to the land. We can't keep the commandments only in the land. That's because these people don't know what they think they know what they're talking about. But let's go with scripture, not with what I say. I go with what scripture say. So we're going to start over here with verse 36 and like to break it down like this so you can get an understanding. We'll take from 36 on down to 40. It says, this is the dream, and we will tell the interpretation thereof before the king. Now, this is the interpretation to King Nebuchadnezzar. 37. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. A king of kings. I've been trying to get people to see the information here. Thou, O king, art a king of kings. There was many kings in Babylon. I always try to break it down and show and share. When Babylon, when the tower, at the towers, when the names and when the voices and when the languages was changed and everybody spread throughout the earth from that point on. According to the story. Everyone got with their own kind, with the language, and head their way. This is what the king, and that's where kingdoms started to rise. Different kingdoms started to rise in the earth. For Yah of heaven hath given thee a kingdom, power and strength and glory. 38. And wheresoever the children of men dwell, the beasts of the field and the fowls of the heaven have he given into thine hand. He gave it all that into Nebuchadnezzar's hand at that time. And hath made thee ruler over them all. he made him ruler over them all at that time. And he said, thou art this head of gold. 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom. This is where the Medes and the Persians arose. Inferior to thee. That's what the Medes and the Persians. That was the you'll find that over here in 32. Just so you know, we'll read 32 real quick. On down to 34, and then we'll come back to 39. It says, we'll start with 31. Thou, O king, sawest, and behold, a great image. This great image, whose brightness was excellent, stood before thee, and the form there was terrible. Right? 32. Daniel 2 and 32. And then we're going to go back to 39. This image's head was of fine gold, his breast and his arms of silver, Medes and the Persians, his belly and his thighs of brass, his legs of iron, his feet part of iron and part of clay. See that? 34. Thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands. That was the law, y'all. The stone that was cut out without hands was the same law that was cut out and given to Moses. And the symbol of that is that it's the commandments. The commandments is the key. The commandments was the stone cut out without hands, which smote the image. How did it smote the image? It broke the image down. How? I'm going to show you according to the people. I'm going to show you in scripture. I'm going to show you who's over everything and how we're supposed to be coming up. I just broke down and showed you by war, and when thou gained the dominion, he has the dominion now. He's in charge. 34 again. And say, thou sawest till that a stone was cut out without hands, which smote the image upon his feet, that were of iron and clay, and break them to pieces. Why did it smoke the feet first? Because the feet was the last kingdom, and that kingdom had to be broken down. That feet of iron and clay was the feet of the Roman Empire, and I say the clay is us separating. Those who choose to separate and break down when the books is open, separating from the iron, the feet of the iron, which is the system. The clay is the us, the people. You know, we were made from clay. But we still have people that's not going to be with Yah. See, those are going to be, I'm going to tell you my point of view. These are the Moors. These are all these people who don't follow the Creator's laws. These are separate from the remnant. There are going to be many that separate because we got a lot of people, I'm a Moor. But a lot of, I know Moors is not even spiritual. This is what I'm talking about. So you're going to get a lot of people that get out away from it, and they're going to stand their ground, but they're going to have no substance that's going to be a part of them. To me, that's going to be the part of the clay. But those that's going to be part of the spiritual, which is the stone, that's the remnant. Those are going to be the ones who's going to break down everything. That's us. When I say us, those who choose to use the iron rod and turn back to Yah. Turn back to the Creator. So, and break it to pieces. Now let's get back to 39. Now, and after thee shall arise another kingdom, which is the second one I was telling you, inferior to thee, which is the breast and the arms of Medes and the Persians. Then it says, And another third kingdom of brass. That's the torso and the thighs. Another third kingdom, which is of brass, which shall, this is your key, which shall bear rule over all the earth. This is where the earth went into captivity. This is when the earth went into captivity, and this is where the Roman Empire taken over with Alexander the Greek. And then this is where the Roman Empire picked up because they passed them off, they passed it off like a torch to the Romans. The Romans picked it up, and this is where we at today. We're in defeat today, but this is where we at. And don't forget, you got two legs. You got old Rome, like you got two armies, Medes and the Persians. You got old Rome and you got new Rome. You got two legs. Old Rome and you got new Rome. Old Rome had the gladiators. Old Rome had the gladiators out there fighting other men, prisoners, animals. All that. Those was the games back then in old Rome. Those was the games at that time. What games they got today? They got football, baseball, basketball, hockey, soccer, baseball. I think I said that. All those, tennis. All these are the games. People's minds are stuck on the games. See, the games is what people's minds are set on because this is where they make their money. See, the whole thing about Rome is the money. The money. The filthy lucre. Mammon. That's what Rome is about. Rome is all about the money. Money, 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 money. See, the difference is once you start taking over your estate, which is the iron rod, with the iron rod, there is no money, no way. There's credit. There's credit where you can imagine having a black card. Imagine having a black card, you get anything you want or anything you need. You get home, you can get land, you can get automobiles, you can get what you need. But you have to know how to access it. This is where knowledge comes in at. All right? This is your birthright, y'all. What's your purpose? Is your purpose to stay asleep? Or is your purpose to build? Get what you need. That's why I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you that's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon that Satan dwelled, where Satan dwelled, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This was prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. I know my purpose. I'm here to give it to you if you want it. I don't force nothing, and I don't try to make you take nothing. I share with you what I come to know, according to prophecy. But what it say right here at the end of 39? And another kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. 40. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron. That's where we at today. That's the Roman Empire. For as much as iron breaketh in pieces and subdueth all things, and as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise. Now, I could go on further down, but I'm going to jump over here to chapter 7. I'm going to show you how. Now, let me show you how. First, I'm going to show you how and what they did. Then I'm going to show you what we see. I'm going to show you how and what they did, which is the system. Then I'm going to show you what we're going to do. Remember, You just got through coming out of. Okay. Okay, Facebook. Hopefully you don't fall out yet because you look like you're a little low. Let's see what we're looking at over here. All right, we got to hold what we got. All right. So over here in Daniel chapter 7, chapter 7, verse 23 through 25. I'm going to give y'all that real quick to show you the fourth kingdom, which is the fourth beast, which is the Roman Empire. All right. Daniel chapter 7, verse 23 states, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom. You see that? I be telling people, it tells you right here, prophesizing, tell you who the beast is. Everybody say the mark of the beast. Who is the beast? The fourth kingdom. The fourth kingdom is the Roman Empire. I keep saying it, but people choose to. I told you I was gonna get and just in case Facebook, if you fall off before I get done, the end of this is Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30 through 33. That's the end of the situation right here. But let's keep it moving. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth. Now we just got through reading where it says the third kingdom. It said the third is going to bear rule over all the earth, which is the Greeks. Now it's telling you right here, the fourth kingdom is going to bear rule over all the earth. Thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be different, which is different from all kingdoms, which it is. This is different from all kingdoms. Look at the houses and the way they designed and did everything all around the earth. And shall devour the whole earth. Devour the whole. You know how many times I tell people this, and people, it's like it just don't. What are you talking about? I don't know what he's saying. I don't. The whole earth. The whole earth. The whole earth is in captivity. All you Hebrew Israelites out there, the whole earth is in captivity. Which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Now, you know how I break that down? How I tread it down and break it in pieces? 7 continents, which you'll find that the dragon in Revelations 12, verse 3, 7 heads is the 7 continents. They rule over all 7 continents. Then, after they ruled over all 7 continents, what did they do? They went into each country, took over each country. And then after each country, what they break down into the cities and the states, whether it's cities and states or just cities or country. Well, we said country already. Then city and states. Then they got districts and counties. They broke all the districts and counties down. Oh, okay, I got nothing up here I can pull up. You got one of these, which is called an address. See that? That's how they broke it down. City, states, districts, counties, all the way down to your neighborhood, to your address on your home. All the way to your neighborhood, your address in your house, at your home. Then not only from the address at your home, then go all the way to when you're carrying the baby, soon as the baby birth out, poof. Birth certificate, social security number, ID card. People just don't get it. But you know something? I'm talking foreign. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh, you don't know what he's talking about here. He sounds crazy. And they live in it. They live in it. And they got eyes and can't see. They got ears and can't hear. It's sad. But you know what? It's for the chosen. That's all right. I know I'm not wasting my voice. I'm saying what I need to say for the ones that come to hear it, they'll get it. But the ones who don't, hey, that's on you. I'm doing my job. My purpose is to put the truth out there for you to get it. What's your purpose? You can ask yourself that. What's your purpose? I know my purpose. I know what was told to me. I know what I'm doing. So, now, verse 24. And the 10 horns out of this kingdom are 10 kings, which is 10 kings, 10 kingdoms out of the 10 horns is 10 kings, which is 10 kingdoms upon the 7 continents. That shall arise, and another shall arise after them. Guess what that other one is? That's the United States. That's New Rome, the New Roman Empire. And he shall be diverse, different from the first. And he shall subdue 3 kings. Now, those 3 kings, I don't know what they are. What 3 kings they may be, I don't know. It could be church and state, could be Christian, Muslim, and Judaism. Could be anything. I don't know what those three kings are. But now those 3 kings also sound like the 3 frogs. 12 o'clock. All right. So 25. And he who? The beast. Who is he? They forgot all about the beast up here who they talking about. This is who we're talking about. The beast, the 4th kingdom. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. How? All this right here is your chapter 13 of Revelation. What you read right here, 23, 24, and 25 is Revelation 13. A lot of people don't even know it. This is 13 of Revelations. And he shall speak great words against the Most High. How did he speak great words? Christianity. Christianity speaking great words against the Most High. They got you worshiping Jesus, Yeshua, Prophet Muhammad, Emmanuel, and whoever else, which is a deity in the sight of Yah. And he shall speak great words against the Most High and shall wear out the saints. Isn't that what they did? They don't have saints no more. They don't have the Israelites. Everybody turned to Christianity. We ain't under the law no more. We under grace. We ain't under the law no more. We under grace. And wear out the saints of the Most High and think, here we go, and think to change times and laws. They think to put the time of a new day, it just turned 12 o'clock in the Gregorian calendar, but this is actually called 12 o'clock, supposed to be the middle of the night. How you gonna get a new night, new day, a new anything in the middle? Thank you, baby. That's why they call it midnight. How you gonna start something new in the middle of a night? What happened to the other half of it? The other half started when the sun went down. They shall think to change times and laws. They done changed the beginning of the year from spring to the middle of winter. Then it went from the end of March, beginning of April, to January, to some 2-headed guy that lived forward and back at the same time. Janus. See what I'm saying? People don't research. They don't know. They don't understand. They done changed the 13-month calendar to a 12-month. They done took days from one month and add them to the other months. Julius Caesar or Caesar Augustus, one or the other. That people just don't know. 28 days in a month. Yes, we do. 13 months, y'all. And a lot of people just don't know it. See, we've been trained, and you only can go by what you know until someone bring you more information, do the research to find out. Once you do the research, it's up to you to find out. And this is where, are you still lacking of knowledge or are you not? Are you seeking knowledge or are you not? Are you gaining the knowledge or are you not? Get wisdom, get knowledge, but in all thy getting, get an understanding. Why? Because understanding will keep thee. You have to understand this is what they did. This is what the fourth empire, this is the Esau that's in power right now. They have taken your purpose. They have taken your birthright. They have changed every little thing and everything they could to keep you from getting and being who you're supposed to be and in your power. They're taking your power away from you. And until you get back to your power, you're a slave. Thinking you're free, but you're a slave. So, 25 again. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, Christianity, and shall wear out the saints, the Israelites, of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given in his hand. See, these things going to be given in the hand of the Roman Empire. Why? Because it was prophesied. And they shall be given into his hand until a time, Greek, and times, Roman, and dividing of time, which is the last, what we just had, 400 years. That's the dividing. And I always break down that dividing is the middle. You got, if you break it down from 1 to 9, you got 1, 2, 3, the first half, 4, 5, 6, the middle, 7, 8, 9, the latter part. The middle is the half. And this is the dividing of time. But 26 says, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. Whose dominion? The saints are going to take away the Romans' dominion, to consume and to destroy it until the end. 27. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, the whole earth now, this going back to the whole earth, and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Is given back to Israel. That's us. See, but it's given to us as we seek the Creator and keep his word, keep the laws. That's our purpose. This is our purpose. The elders should serve the younger. We got to get back to the point for the elders in order to serve the younger. Until then, you are under the elders' rule. Let me see something before we can go out real quick. Hold on. Oop, let me see you real quick. Make sure you don't go out. There you go. Sorry about that. You look like you about to get real low over here, Facebook. There we go. All right, just want to straighten y'all out because Facebook, like it was getting a little low. So I'm going to give him a little bit more energy. But let's keep it moving. Now, but the whole point is verse 27. Daniel 7:27 says, and the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven, which is the whole earth, shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. Him who? The Creator, through his saints. Now, let me give you, that's just one. That's the end. In 26 and 27 is one point. I'm gonna give you 20 and no 21 and 22, which is another one of the saints, or the understanding real quick. It says 21. I beheld, this is Daniel 7:21. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. The horn is the same power. Made war with the saints and prevailed against them. That prevailed against us. They prevailed against us. 22. Until the Ancient of Days came. The Ancient of Days is the Spirit of the Creator and his law. That's the Ancient of Days. The Spirit of Yah coming upon us and the law. And judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came. See that? The judgment was when? 2020. 2020 was the judgment. The 400 years from 1619 to 2019, 2020 was the judgment. And the judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came, process of time. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. What kingdom? The earth. We are to be a kingdom of priests. But let's get back over here. My last two favorite points right here is 17 and 18. These great beasts, what great beasts? You have four: Babylon, Medes and the Persian, the Greek and the Roman Empire. And here we go. These great beasts, which are four beasts, are four kings. And it's not just kings, they're kingdoms. Are four kings which shall arise out of the earth. These are four kingdoms that shall rise out of the earth: Babylon, Medes and the Persians, the Greek and the Roman Empire. Verse 18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. These are portions showing us what's going to end up happening. When you read it and study it for what it is, instead of just reading through the words and just reading over everything and not understanding what's being given. People don't do that. A lot of people just read. Oh, okay, I read it. But you ain't slowing down to understand what's being said. That's the problem we have today. We got like, oh, I done read the Bible 5 times, but you don't understand it because you done read it. You ain't went over it and understand line from line, precept upon precept, what goes here and what goes there, here a little and there a little. You don't understand it like that. You just reading it because you just want to read it. This is a spiritual book. A lot of people don't understand that. Now, let's get over here to some revelation. Still showing you how Esau is in power. Esau is the system. I don't look at it as a man. And that's the problem with people today. They're too busy looking at it. This is that people over there. Oh, that's that people over there. It's the system. The system is Esau. No different than Israel is spiritual and a people, but Israel is those who are spiritual mostly. Because you have to become spiritual in order to be connected with the Creator. You got Jacob, who is not spiritual, and you got the heathens, who is not spiritual. But you also got the those who are going to be drafted in because they're going to become spiritual. And then you got the physical, who is spiritual, which is Israel. Judah and Israel, that is. Excuse me. We can go to chapter 6 of Revelations, verse 7 and 8. This is the pale horse, who my boy G1 just mentioned a little earlier. William Cooper made the book of the pale horse. This it right here. Chapter 6. Say what, baby? Yeah, she's still here. Okay. Julia, when you get time, if you're still up, Joanne said when you get off, you can give her a call. She wanted to talk to you when we get off. Okay, chapter 6, but I'm gonna do 1, then I'm gonna do 7 and 8. It says, and I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, come and see. One of the four beasts saying, come and see. Let's jump over here to verse 7. And when he had opened the fourth seal, fourth kingdom, fourth empire. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast, Rome, say, come and see. 8, verse 8. And I looked and behold a pale horse. Behold a pale horse. And behold a pale horse. And his name that sat on him was what? Death. War. What is it? What's war about? Death. By thy sword shall thou live. By war shall thou live. Esau, death. And you know something? This is in every country, in every nation around the world. All these nations that is a part of a nation is always talking about war, death. The whole world is under the Roman Empire, which is under church and state. Oh yeah, I'm glad I said that. Y'all need to go and check out Robin Hood in 2018 with it was good with Jamie Foxx. Y'all need to see it's so many clues in that Robin Hood. Clues all in there. Talks about a lot of stuff that y'all need to. Some of y'all will probably be aware of it. Go check that Robin Hood out. Jamie Foxx with Jamie Foxx is Robin Hood is in 2018. They have to tell you the truth. That's the problem. That's why I say these people saying that Donald Trump, all you're doing, Donald Trump is doing what he has to do by law. He can't go outside the law. Well, he's just using legalese to hold up things. He's holding up things because he's using legalese to have to do. Then he said, well, did they go there? You have to go by the law. They're using legalese to go against the things that's not even lawful. Stuff that's not even law. That's what legal is. That's what's the difference between legal and lawful. All you that's a citizen, you under the legalese. You have to be sovereign to be under the law. And that's the problem that people don't know today. Say it again, baby.
They don't understand the difference between legal and lawful.
They really don't. And they'll come and use the word, but this is the law. This is the law. They ain't using no law. They're using legalese, which has nothing to do with the law. And everyone that's using legalese is of the corporation, which is the fictitious government, which is a corporation. Let me get back to where I'm at here. Again, verse 8. Revelation chapter 6, now we're at verse 8. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death. And hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth parts of the earth, and to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. You see that? Hunger, death with the beasts of the earth. Remember gator bait? Y'all know about gator bait, right? They've been feeding our children to the crocodiles and the alligators to catch alligators, right? These are some evil, wicked people. I wouldn't even call them people. They are no people. They're evil and wicked. Hunger. How many of the children y'all seen over in Africa sitting around with these big old bellies? And they said that they was feeding them. A lot of people started sending money to them, and they were sending money showing that the child's supposed to be doing good. Now all of a sudden they send a different picture. How many times that been happening to people that y'all know about? I done heard about it plenty of times. It's things that these people are wicked and they don't care. They do not care. That's their God. And their God they trust, which is the almighty dollar. That's their God. So now let's get over here to Revelation 13 to show you how and who they are. Revelation 12, before we get to 13, I'm just going to go straight to 3. Revelation 3, which is the great red dragon. This is your Rome, y'all. Nope. This is your Greek. This is the Greek Empire right here. The great red dragon. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his head. Well, I tell you the 7 heads was. The 7 heads is the 7 continents. 7 heads and 10 horns. 10 horns is power. So on the 7 continents, out of 7 continents, a couple of continents had a couple of horns on there, which is Each continent had a horn, which had a kingdom on there, and then you had another one, which is powers. These are powers. You had two of them that had two extra horns, two or three of them, 7, 8, 9, 10. Three heads, three continents had three extra horns on it, which is 3 points of power. And seven crowns upon, see, had 10 horns and seven crowns upon his head. So each one had a kingdom, because each kingdoms are crowns. The crowns are kingdoms, but the horns is power. And his tail, verse 4, and his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven and did cast them to the earth. The stars is us. And cast us down in ignorance. Okay, man, I don't want to. Are you about to go out? See how you looking over here, Facebook. Okay. We're gonna do this real quick. We're gonna switch y'all back up again because this baby about to go out. And I want YouTube stay on longer because they're gonna take my right back. Hold on a minute, y'all. You back up here. You. Ain't something in there? You sure?
Yeah, I use some for the spaghetti.
Oh, okay. All right. There we go. Got y'all back switched up. All right. So, and it says, and his tail drew the third part of the star, which is the children of Israel, of heaven, and did cast them to the earth. That's us. How many of our people now run around calling themselves Christians? How many of us calling ourselves Christians today? Get cast to the earth. And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. A lot of people don't even realize also that that child is the spirit that comes upon us, that the Father gives upon us when a man is going through travail, when a man is going through trouble, like what I went through. These things are actually happening, and this is where the spirit is rolling blood. This is Isaiah chapter 9, verse 5 through 7. And this should be for fuel for burning. A lot of people don't understand what that point is. But then they talk about the man child. But what we get ready to go into chapter 13. Revelation 13. We just go ahead and try to hit this real quick before I give y'all Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 30 through 33 for the final understanding. There we go. Revelation 13, the first beast. The first beast. What first beast is it? The fourth beast, the Roman Empire. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw the beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads, 7 continents, and 10 horns. That's 10 powers upon those continents. And upon his horns, 10 crowns, 10 kingdoms, 10 kingdoms. And upon his heads, the name of blasphemy. This is where they blaspheme the Creator's name through Christianity and through all religions. All religions is blasphemy of Yah's word, because the Creator said, Creator gave his laws and nothing else. He didn't give no religion. He gave his laws, his commandments, and his statutes and his judgments. That's what he gave. Now, verse 2, chapter 13 and 2. And the beast, Roman Empire, which I saw was like unto a leopard. Now, I still don't know if that leopard is England. I don't know if it's England or if it's Britain or English. Was like unto a leopard, and his feet was like the feet of a bear. And I always say the bear was Russia, which is at that back then was the Soviet Union. So that's my point of view. I can't say I'm right or wrong about that, but that's my point of view that I've been pulling out there. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion spake with great authority. And the dragon we just got through reading about in chapter 12, it says, and the dragon gave him his power. See, the dragon gave the beast. The dragon is the Greeks, the beast is the Roman Empire. The dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. The dragon, which is the ones who took over the whole earth, relinquished it to the Romans, which is the beast. 3. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded. Now I have this broken down. I have this written out, or should I say looked up. I have the information behind this. And I saw one of his head as it was wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. That's Christianity. And it happened for 56 years, from 325 AD to 381 AD. 56 years they was fighting and bickering and stuff like that. The Arians and the bishops. The bishops and the Arians. First Constantine put them together, then Constantinople. I have the information. And the world, it says, verse 3 again. And I saw one of his heads as it was wounded to death, and the deadly wound was healed, which was Christianity. And all the world wondered after the beast. All the world wondered after the Roman Empire. 4. And they worshiped the dragon, and they worshiped the Greeks, which gave power unto the beast. They still do it today. Sororities, fraternities, all these different things doing that, as well as many other things that pertains to Greek. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto Rome, and they worshiped the beast, which is Rome, saying, who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? Who is like unto Rome? Who is able to make war with him? Verse 5, and there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy. This is Christianity. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months. I think that was the Crusaders going around. You'll find that in there too. That's what it was. The Crusaders went around taking and pillaging and turning everybody to Christianity. You'll find that in that Robin Hood movie as well. To given unto him to continue 42 months, verse 6. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah, Christianity, to blaspheme his name from the Creator, Yahuwah, the Creator, to Yeshua, Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Emmanuel, and anything else. Blaspheme. Blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven, those who kept the law. Verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, the Israelites, the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations, over the whole earth. Captivity. The whole earth is under captivity. 8. And all that dwell upon the earth, see there? And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, shall worship the beast, the Roman Empire, whose names are not written in the book. Y'all hear that? Everybody whose name ain't written in the book, y'all gonna worship him. All y'all who's believing in Jesus and Roman Empire and Yeshua and everybody else who y'all gave the image, the praises. And if you notice here, you don't got image yet. This right here is everything up into everything except the law, every religion up unto the King James Authorized Version. That's what this is. Everything up to the King James Authorized King James Version, which is up into the 1611 Bible. Of life of the lamb slain from the verse 8 again. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book of life of the lamb slain from the foundation of the world. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. All y'all judges out there, lawyers, Oh, this y'all got y'all day coming. He that leadeth to captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the Israelites, which is the saints, that has went through so much hell. But now, the second beast, let me give you the understanding. The second beast is coming up now. Verse 11. Revelation 13 and 11. My son, you eating? Yeah. All right. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. Another beast. This is your United States. Another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had two horns like a lamb, Republican and Democrat, and spake as a dragon. Lamb meaning young. He was a young nation that started with Republican, Democrat, and when he spoke as a dragon. He spoke whichever one won. They speak with great authority. Everybody listening to Trump now. Everybody listen to Obama. Everybody listen to the Bushes. When they stood up, people listened. The nations listened. 12. And he exercises, this is the Roman Empire, and he exercises all the power of the first beast, first Rome. Remember I said it's two Rome, old Rome, new Rome. And he exercises all the power of the first Roman Empire, which is the first beast, before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast. Church and state. Church and state. The first beast. You'll find that in that Robin Hood movie too. It's all there. All y'all have to do is just have eyes to see and ears to hear if you got time to study. And check it out. And he do a great one. Well, hold. Let me go back. Verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed, which was Christianity. That was Christianity. 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he make a fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And we know what happened at that time, which was Hiroshima, and also the tanks and planes and things like that happening. 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth. The whole earth has been deceived, remember? Find that in Revelation 12, verse 9 through 12. Or 7 through 12, that is. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he, the beast, had power to do in the sight of the beast, which is in the sight of the Roman Empire, in the sight of all the people. Saying unto them, check this out, saying unto them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image. Now comes your revised King James Version. You can't find an image before the authorized King James Version, or in the time of the authorized King James Version, but the image didn't come until the revised, and then you got the word Jesus. That's when your image came into play. Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. That wound was Christianity. The wound was the Arians and the bishops was fighting for 56 years, and the deadly wound was healed when they got rid of the Arians. They got them out, and then this is where Christianity became to be what it is. And then they made the image when they came with the revised King James Version, when they put the J in the English alphabet and came up with Jesus. That's your image. And you know what? It's not even just Jesus now. They got the Mother Mary, Mother Magdalene, or Mother Mary, Mother of Jesus. They got Jesus itself. They got all this other stuff. They got Yeshua. They done took the paint and colored the image melanated. Colored the image melanated. Now, instead of calling them Jesus, they call them Yeshua. Just because they found out the name with the name of the man that really came, Because I didn't say that it wasn't man that didn't come. The man that did come, who wasn't to be worshipped, who was no different than all the rest of the other prophets, he just came to do the same thing that all the other prophets did, was to tell you the kingdom of heaven is at hand, turn back to Yah. Turn back to the Father. That's all he came to do. That's it. But the people don't know. You know what? We're going to do this. It is with you, my. Okay. Nope. Oh, this is Instagram. Instagram, we're going to hold you like this right now. So, because you about to go. So, as we were just saying, it says, and they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. That's Christianity. And the image is your Jesus, Yeshua, Prophet Muhammad, Emmanuel. Whoever you decide you want to worship, you're breaking the first three commandments. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not bow down to them nor serve them. Thou shalt not make an image in heaven above, earth beneath, or waters under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. That's breaking the commandments itself. And people don't get it. But let's keep it moving. 15. And he had power to give life unto the image. Check this out. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. I'm just going to leave it right there for a moment. It didn't say he's going to walk around. It didn't say he's going to go and devour anybody. It just said both speak, and cause that as many that would not worship the image. You see that? How did it speak? Through Christianity. Jesus said this. Jesus said that. Yeshua said this and Yeshua said that. Prophet Muhammad said this and Prophet Muhammad said that. Blaspheming the Creator's words. The Creator had you spoken. He spoke through his prophets. But they gave the props and the information to the man. They didn't give the props to the Creator. They gave it to man, which is your Jesus, Prophet Muhammad, Yeshua, whoever. That's idolatry. And the people, what did it say? What did it say? What did it say over in number 5? I think that was 5. That was 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him whose names are not written in the book. Worship who? Worship the beast whose names are not written in the book of life. See, they ain't in the book of life. Whose name are not written in the book of life, of the Lamb slain from the foundations of the world. And y'all want to know what the Lamb is. The Lamb is the Holy Spirit upon us that keeps the word. We're the Lamb. That's another story. But we are the Lamb. Again in verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's what the Crusaders was doing. Same in the movie. Check it out. See, they give you story, but they know a lot of people don't. Oh, that's just entertainment. They give you facts. They give you histories in the story that they show you. And only those with open eyes and knowledgeable minds will catch the information. They have to tell you the truth, whether y'all understand it or not. Even Trump and them, who always think, oh, Trump and them do what they do, they got to do the right, they have to do the truth. It's just that people are so ignorant, they don't want to go back and find out if what's true or not. They just followers. That's the problem we have today. So, verse 16. Now we're in today's time. And he causes, who is he? The second beast. And he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Y'all know what the mark is. We don't hear too much about We heard a little bit about the foreheads, just a little bit. But the right hand, or what should I say, that has been embedded in the hand, we already know is the jab. Stuff is still coming out daily about the jabs. It was, hey baby, what's the name of that jab that they said that in I gotta find out. AstraZeneca. Oh, it shut down. Huh? I'm gonna put that one in here too. Two of them I'm gonna put in here. I saved that one too. That's gonna tell you about what's the name from Spanish, from Latin to English. From Latin to English. Come here, baby, and say this so I can hear you.
Most of their medical things are Latin.
Most of the medical names?
Most of the medical terms are Latin.
Most of the medical terms are Latin. Well, over here, Facebook gone. You gone. Facebook gone. They got what is needed, though. Now, 16. Oh, we got 16. 17. And that no man might buy or sell. You can't do it without a birth certificate, social security card, or ID card in this day and time, stuff that you need to get homes and stuff like that. And that no man might buy or sell, save that he, except, which is saved, that he that had the mark or the name of the beast, which is in all caps, or the number of his name, which is his social security number. Social security number, or the red number on back of the social security card, which is a part of your trust, a part of your account. 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. And his number is 666, which is the Pope. Victorious or Victus Vili. I'm going to end it with Ezekiel 30. I want to make sure y'all get this, because this right here is what's going on. But a lot of people think they're hearing me like a song. So, here we go right here. Ha! Turn right to it. Look at that. Thank you, Father. Ezekiel would be vindicated, which is the prophet will be vindicated. I'm going to put it like that. Verse 30. Ezekiel 33, verse 30 to 33, and this is the end of the conversation for tonight. We're at Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33, verse 30 to 33. It says, also, thou son of man, the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, come, I pray you, and hear what is the word that cometh forth from Yah. 31. And they cometh unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. You hear that? They hear thy word, but they ain't doing them. The law is your key. They hear thy word, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart go after their covetousness. That right there is Isaiah 29, verse 10 through 13. That's what that is right there. That verse 31. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear my word, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but their heart goeth after their covetousness. Verse 32. And lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice. Oh, That sound? And can play well on an instrument. For they hear thy words, but they do them not. 33 in last verse. And when this cometh to pass, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. This is the Father saying it in quotation, and not quotation, but in not parentheses. And lo, it say, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet has been among them. Ezekiel is that prophet. I'm reading the words from Ezekiel. And I'm just sharing that with you to let all y'all understand. What's your purpose? We just read what the purpose of Esau was and what the system have done. But what is our purpose? Our purpose is to turn back to the law. That's our purpose. You just heard Ezekiel chapter 33. It's just a lovely song. Y'all can keep listening as a song if y'all want to. Time is short. Time is here. Time is now. Other than that, I am that Mikael in Daniel chapter 12, verses 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's me. Showing the holy people who they're really supposed to be. Waking them out of their dead beds, which is really in their heads. For all of you who's living in the new, this is for you. I'm that same Mikael in Revelations 12, battling that red dragon where Satan dwells, who deceiveth the whole world but prevaileth not, because the horn is blown without a doubt. This is prophesied for you to see that Mikael is really me. Other than that, G1, is there something you like to share about what you got out of tonight?
Uh, Not really, man. Other than just this, how crazy, how much the B system has consolidated over time and time, and just keep coming into the, you know what I mean? It's just that shit is crazy, man. It's just the B system, man, itself. Like you said, if you don't have a purpose, what did they say? If it's a saying that goes, if you don't have a plan, somebody will have a plan for you.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like if you don't know your purpose, this beast system definitely got a purpose for you. You know what I mean? And what it wants to do. So, for all y'all who don't have a purpose, you need to figure that out. And
I got you, bro. Actually,
yeah.
our purpose is to get back with the Creator and to get free. That's our purpose. But like I was saying, the only way we're going to do that, pen and pad. The Father has showed me a way. I ain't saying I got the way. I got a way to help us get free. One way or another, but I got a way. And like I say, a lot of things going on with me. And I had my cousin, he was over here visiting with me yesterday. I showed him some paperwork. He understood what he was looking at. When I say he understood what he was looking at, he was like, man, he was shocked. But I was thankful that he had open eyes to see in order to know and understand. Sister Julia, are you there? Are you woke or are you asleep, my sister? I'm glad you're here. Can I get a hey, how you doing? Something? Or are you gone? She probably is. Call her real quick, baby. You might catch her. Cause I'm getting ready to pull it out. Other than that, we get ready to smile our way out. And we're going to call it a night. And tomorrow we'll be here for Mikael's Knowledge of Truth, 9 p.m., same time, tomorrow night. And then following that, the next following day, we have Zoom only, our first introductory to solving class of knowledge. Other than that, Shema Yisrael, Adonai, Eloheinu, Adonai, Echad, Baruch, Shekebo, Vaku, To, Yolam, Vaed, Hallelujah. Hear, O Israel, Yah Father is one Father. Bliss be thy glorious kingdom forever and ever. Hallelujah. Thank you, Father, for the reading of your word. Thank you for the knowledge you've given us tonight. Allow us to grow and study and know your word, your spirit, and your ruach. Allow us to come together and build so we can help others grow in your words and way as well. Your holy word and spirit, we pray. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
And they remote.
Okay, son. All right. Well, everybody, I'd like to thank y'all for coming through. And don't forget, you can always connect with me, call me, or text me at 770-572-5315. That's 770-572-5315. Or you can email me at lkhyym@gmail.com. That's lkhyym@gmail.com. And you can also connect with me on my YouTube and also my Twitter, well, X, formerly known as Twitter, and my YouTube, which is Juice Pro 33. That's JUICEPRO 33, Juice Pro 33. And you can also catch me on Instagram and TikTok. My Instagram and TikTok. That was my YouTube, Juice Pro 33, but my Instagram and my TikTok is LKHYYM underscore THEJUICE. That's LKHYYM underscore THE, excuse me, JUICE. Also, my TikTok, I'll have another TikTok, which is Michael the Juice Harris, which is MICHAELTHEJUICEHARRIS all together. And don't forget my Juice Pro 33, that's all together as well for my X, which is Twitter, and also for my YouTube. Also, you can catch me on Facebook. My Facebook is Mikael space Harris, which is MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That's MI apostrophe CHAEL space HARRIS. That was my Facebook. You can also check out the full from Zoom on YouTube as well, but under video on YouTube. Don't forget, we have part one and part two under live on YouTube, but under the video we have the full version. Excuse me. And also on the full version, we also have Patreon and Rumble.com. That's patreon.com/LKHYYM and Rumble.com/ excuse me, LKHYYM. There's Rumble and Patreon /LKHYYM. All right. And if you'd like to get in contact, we'll be here on the Zooms and the different platforms. The different platforms we have is on, the first one is on Sunday, like tonight, or the night after Sunday, should I say, at 9 p.m. on Fight Fire with Truth. That's Fight Fire with Truth on Sunday, the night after Sunday, at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Then Mikael's Knowledge of Truth on quote unquote Mondays, the night after Monday. Mikael's Knowledge of Truth at 9 p.m. You can check me out there. Both of them Eastern. Excuse me. All Eastern Time, excuse me. Then on the Sabbath, which is Saturday, we're here with on the Sabbath at the Assembly of the Righteous. That's Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath. Right now we're going through the book of First Samuel. We're at 21 next week. But that there is the Assembly of the Righteous on the Sabbath at 12 p.m. noon, which is the beginning of the evening. That's the noonday on the Sabbath. And don't forget, starting this coming quote unquote Tuesday on the 2nd, We will start our sovereign classes. You have to get in contact with me. I'm not going to let any trolls come in. So this is going to be only on Zoom and Zoom only. That will be this Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Eastern time, because we got people that's supposed to be getting in from the UK and other places. If they come, fine. If they don't, that's the time. Other than that, I thank everybody for your time, your patience, your listening ear, your seeing eye, and we get ready to call it a night. And since you in my hand about to go out, Instagram, I thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, and always. Peace. There we go. All right. And over here on YouTube Live, Craig, I thank you for coming. I thank you for still sticking in and giving me a like as well. I appreciate, love you, bro, and I'll see you soon. And I thank you for your time. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for your time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you. See you soon, and always. Peace. And over here on YouTube Live, I appreciate you, G1, for coming through. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, my bro. Good seeing you, and thank you for your input for the night. Other
You
than
already
that,
know, bro.
I thank you
Peace.
for your time. And Julia, you as well. Glad you was able to come through to be a participant here. I thank y'all for y'all time, your patience, your listening ear, and your seeing eye. Appreciate, love you, bro, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night. Peace.